dedicated athletic rehabilitation and physical therapy to help them get better off of it. Certified athletic trainers in our PSM schools providing daily support to our athletes, and a specialized orthopedic walking clinic when injury strikes. Call 260-266-4007 to speak to our care navigators, or visit parkviewsportsmedicine.com to learn more about what we can do to improve athletes at all levels.
The Acme Bar and Grill, where neighbors meet. A Fort Wayne tradition since 1941. We feature nightly dinner specials along with our iconic pizza, wings, and pork tenderloins, and barbecue in our family-friendly atmosphere with a retro flair. Additionally, we offer a full bar with 26 beers on tap from various Midwest breweries. We also have an area perfect for private events such as meetings, reunions, and banquets that holds up to 50 people. The Acme Bar and Grill, located in the heart of East State Village, where neighbors...
Give your home the curb appeal it deserves, and trust Kurt's Mio to power wash your home. Additional services include concrete sealing, deck and fence cleaning, driveway replacement, and stamped concrete. Just head on over to kurtzmio.com, request your virtual quote, and use the code SummitCity for 15% off all power washing services today. That's kurtzmio.com, supporting the youth of Fort Wayne.
The Kelly Automotive Group is simple, transparent, reliable. Simple. Our customer specialists make buying a car easy and fun. Transparent. Our price listed is the best price. No hassle, no gimmicks. Reliable. Buy with confidence and peace of mind. We work hard to ensure the best value however you shop. Come see us in Decatur at the 2733 Auto Mall and shop 7 brands in one location. The Kelly Automotive Group. Simple, transparent, reliable.
Joint pain, sprains, strains, or a possible broken bone? Make the Parkview Ortho Express Walk-In Clinic your first stop when you have an orthopedic or sports injury. Parkview Ortho Express, located at the Sport One Parkview Fieldhouse, gives you access to quick care and orthopedic physicians when you need it most. Get x-rays, treatment, and referrals to Parkview Care, all in the convenience of a walk-in clinic. Parkview Ortho Express is open Monday through Thursday, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., Friday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m., and Saturday, 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. Call 260-266-4007 for more information. Developing athletes to be foundationally strong. Healthy and consistent training. Expert staff. Long-term athletic development. Parkview Sports Medicine Performance. Any athlete, any age, any skill level.
I was once a Southside kid who was led on a journey by high school football. A journey that taught me discipline, toughness, and the skills that made me a success. As a businessman with a CPA license who owns his own firm, I still use the building blocks of high school sports in my everyday life. Someday sports will end no matter what level you reach, but you will be left with the skills to compete in the next game, the game of life.
I chose St. Francis because they made a promise that I would have real-world experience that I could take when I graduated, and they delivered on that promise. For me, the classroom only gets you so far, so they're setting me up with an internship. I had a mentor that they set me up with that was a CEO of a DuPont hospital in Fort Wayne. They offer degrees in accounting, business administration, risk management and insurance, marketing, and finance. You know, they just did a great job of the full circle of not only the education but also the experience.
Thank you for supporting Summit City Sports. For the last several years, we've provided the Fort Wayne community and beyond with coverage of a variety of sports, thanks to our title sponsorship from Parkview Sports Medicine. Since we began in 2015, our annual budget has covered the cost of videographers and commentators to over 300 plus games each year. New equipment and maintenance of that equipment, along with increased broadcast rights fees from the IHSAA. This season, we're reaching out to friends, families, and local businesses for additional sponsorships and donations. You can help us grow and get coverage to your favorite team or sport. A Summit City Sports sponsorship or donation will help make that happen. We have the goal of bringing fans live stream games of every SAC game we cover. With the additional funds, we'd invest in mobile internet devices, allowing us to bring our supporters every SAC conference football and boys and girls basketball games live, as well as more coverage for sports like cross country, tennis, golf, swimming, wrestling, track and field, baseball, and softball. For more information on sponsorships or how to donate, visit SummitCitySports.com.
Bulldogs against the Barons. New Haven has won 9 straight times against DeKalb. Left-footed kick is on the way, short. Fielded far side. That's a carry across the 15 to the 20. Curl play up the middle. And still, that's Tanner Jack with the carry across the 30 all the way up close to the 35. They'll spot it right there at the 35-yard line. We are underway here at John Young Stadium. First and 10. And the Barons will have a first opportunity offensively, an offensive line that averages 242 a man, tackle to tackle. Logan Dallas at center, Hoyt Stafford along with Tyler Pomeroy, the guards. Tyson Conley at 265, and Treston Kern are the tackles. Very tight lineup, two wide down to the short side, to the right side. Evan Eschbach barking out the signals, looks to hand it off. Here's a run-off tackle in a big hole. That was Landon Miller getting the call and working off tackle between guard and tackle left side, and he'll pick up about 6-7 yards.
Yeah, the senior, 5'10", 185, Joe. He's really been a factor for DeKalb. A lot of DeKalb's success on offense, Joe, is they've had nice positive plays on first down, so it's put DeKalb in a position where they can attack on second down.
Kai Zacharias up in the slot to the right side. It'll be 2nd down and 3. Pistol alignment now for Eschbach. Hands it off again. Here's Miller in again to the second level and has a first down just short of midfield. So good blocking up front between the left side.
A good push up front, Joe. First down, DeKalb.
Okay, we're trying to do a little adjustment here.
A little bit of work here. Good push up front for DeKalb, and a nice way to start the drive. And this is what's got New Haven in trouble, Joe, is their inability to stop the run this year. So important to get a stop here.
New set of downs for the Barons, moving just short of midfield. Same lineup, ball middle of the feet. There was movement at the line of scrimmage, now a penalty flag, and that may cost the Bulldogs unless they were induced. They had 9 penalties, Joe, last week, as you mentioned, 76 yards.
Yeah, they have. I thought the receiver took off for DeKalb, so we'll see, what they call here. But, yeah, those 9 penalties for 76 yards really hurt New Haven, and it's on New Haven again. And if I'm Coach Lynn, my blood pressure's going up because, it's tough enough for us to stop the run. New Haven's been hurt all year. Last week, 288 yards, Mississinawa against the run. So you can't give up penalties either. And now it puts you in a 1st and 5. And if I'm DeKalb, I can attack you in so many different ways. So again, don't beat yourself if you're New Haven.
Yeah, especially they say that front 4, watch the ball, don't go with the head count or the bobbing count. Play action fake. Here's Eschbach wanting to throw, steps up in the pocket, gets out of trouble, stumbles, and falls down close to a first down around the New Haven 41-yard line.
And New Haven's lucky because I thought Eschbach on that had really an open field, but he stumbles down. But that's what's nice about a senior quarterback. We talked about Eschbach coming into the game, Joe. 6 touchdowns, but the ability to be efficient and understand when everybody's covered to tuck that ball and get upfield.
They will move the chains. Officials took a long look at it. They'll spot it at the Bulldog 41. DeKalb huddling up now, and Logan Dallas will bring him up to the line of scrimmage. And they'll split Kai Zacharias wide to the right side. Got a wing back off to the right side as well. Now motion coming back to the left side. Play action fake. Eschbach looking. Now rolls to its right side, buying time. Looking, throws. There's a ball intercepted. Howard Chandler's got it at the 40 and brings it back to the New Haven 42 to the 43-yard line. So Howard Chandler with this interception. First of the year for the Bulldogs, and they deny the Barron drive, and it'll be New Haven. 1st and 10.
Good heads-up play by Chandler, the senior, 6 feet, 160, steps in front of the receiver. And we talked about that last week as far as quarterbacks. Eschbach cannot throw that ball late, Joe. You have to trust what you see and let it rip. And when you throw the ball late back against the middle of the field, it allows good corners like Howard Chandler to make that play. That's huge for New Haven. That's the turnover they need, and maybe a chance for some momentum to get the offense going.
Bulldogs will spread the field 2 wide either side. They'll look to hand the ball off. Here's a pass in the flats, complete near side. Here's a run after the catch, and good move up the midfield. And just short of a first down, it'll be a pickup of about 8 yards. And
Jamar Hutchins that time, Joe.
He's one of the, remember he and his brother, Lamar, they were injured early in the year and really were not much of a factor. If they can keep them healthy, they can very much be a big factor.
Yeah, we missed them last year when we did New Haven, but they're explosive on the edge.
Shotgun formation now. Williams backs away. Play clock still at 17. 2nd down and 2 after the gain of 8. Bulldogs trying to capitalize on the interception by Howard Chandler. Now they change the play call at the line of scrimmage. Play clock down to 5. Here's Jakar Williams, hands it off and a run up the middle for a first down. Good hitting play by DeAndre Wright. Wright comes in with 147 yards on the ground. Had 17 carries last week at Mississauga, Joe, for 75 yards. That's almost 4.5 yards a carry.
Yeah, one of our favorite players in the area. He plays both ways, and he's really known at the linebacker position. He had 88 tackles last year, so a fantastic athlete to play both ways, Joe.
Ball at the DeKalb 42 now. Bulldogs moving from right to left. Again, Williams, the sophomore, at 6'3". Will have 2 wide either side of the field. Wright stays in at the running back, offset to the left side. Here's a read option they'll give him. He works to the left side, brings it inside the 40 down at least to the 39-yard line. The hole was not there, Joe, up the middle, and he just slid off to the left side and gets a positive gain of about 3, maybe 4 yards.
Yeah, that's the mark of a good back when you get that initial contact. Can you get those extra yards? But how about Dominic Bevins for DeKalb in the linebacker position, filling that hole? Good defense that time by DeKalb.
2nd down, let's call it 7. Motion now from left to right. They'll hand it off. Hutchins on a sweep, needs a block, and cannot turn the corner. He's brought down for a loss. Back outside the 40-yard line. Very tough to run laterally.
Yeah, and that's Devin Smith out there, the defensive Joe. He leads them in tackles for DeKalb with 23 tackles. And that time, Devin Smith does a fantastic job not to get beat inside. He keeps that outside arm free, and he forces that play out to the boundary. So that is really good defense for DeKalb. And that was a big stop that time, Joe.
There was a hold against New Haven, but there was no game. In fact, a loss on the play. Let's see if Pete Kemp's going to decline the penalty.
I would take it. I would push them back because with the young quarterback, I kind of want him to have to make some decisions when they're behind the chains, Joe.
So that'll move the ball back. The penalty is accepted. It'll move it back to midfield. It'll remain 2nd down. 2nd down and 18. And they'll spot that ball right in the middle of the Bulldog decal here at John Young Stadium. Shotgun formation once again. They stay with now 3 wide to the left side. Here's Williams, loads, fires. He's got a man downfield. The ball's tipped in the air, incomplete. Intended for Lane Woodson. Double coverage, but Woodson did have a bit of a step, and remember, he goes 6 feet.
And that was good defense by Caleb Nixon to get out there and tip that ball away for DeKalb. And I'll tell you what, it seems like every week we have a connection. I played with Lane Woodson's daddy over at Southside. He was a defensive tackle. On the way in, he was cooking a barbecue, Joe. He had pork, and he had steak, and he had burgers, and he was offering us food. And boy, it was all Tommy and I could do, not to sit down in one of those chairs. But it's good to see his boy out there playing. But good defense for DeKalb that time.
3rd down and 18. Here's Williams. Looks, screens the ball near side. Hutchins gives ground, looks for running room, reverses back to the left, got a block. Touch to the 45. Knocked out of bounds at the 41-yard line. of DeKalb. That'll be about 9 yards short of the first down stick, but fourth down coming up, and Jimmy Lynn's going to play field position to have the ball punted away.
And that was good discipline with the DeKalb defense, Joe, because New Haven can attack you with their spree, with those screens and all their speed, and that time DeKalb keeps their discipline. Everybody plays their gap and gets a stop. So good defensive series with the DeKalb defense that's really struggled at times this year.
One back and kick return for the Barons. Howard Chandler, who had the interception. High snap, it's got it, steps into it. Low line drive, bounding ball. That'll take a bounce, fielded at the 12-yard line. Here's a run up across the 20 to the 24-yard line. So DeKalb goes back on offense for the second time here this afternoon. Corey Price on the return, and it'll be 1st and 10 Barons. No score with 7:43 remaining in this opening quarter.
And that was Easton Rhodes, Joe, that came up and caught that football, and that was a good move. That's going to probably save DeKalb about 15 yards in field position. And Easton Rhodes has been their leading receiver so far, Joe. He's got 6 catches for 145 yards in a year, and get this, 24 yards per catch average. So big-time average and a big-time explosive player for Easton Rhodes.
Barons now shotgun formation for Eschbach. He's got Tanner Jack motion now to the left side off the wingback position. Eschbach on the read option, hands it off. There's running room off to the right side. Tanner Jack able to curl up the middle across the 30-yard line. And that play designed to go off the beat gap to the left side, but it was not there, so he just reversed around the right end and does gain about 6 yards.
Yeah, he's got 20 carries for 94 yards coming in, Joe, and they like to run Miller, obviously. Jack's kind of their bigger back, so they like to run between the tackles, and they may see an advantage with that big offensive line against that New Haven defensive line.
Jack stays in as the running back offset behind Evan Eschbach. Corners come up in press coverage now for New Haven, and they'll run the ball again. There's a counter run, and Jack's behind the second level as he's all the way to New Haven 35, carries a tackle down to about the 30. Well, let's correct that. He's all the way up to about the 47-yard line.
Yeah, we're going to flag down the play. I think that's going to come back. I think we're going to have holding on DeKalb. We'll see. But how about that offensive line for DeKalb? We talked about, Joe, in the pregame. Almost 250 across the front, and 4 of the 5 guys are over 6 feet tall. So they've got some big kids on the offensive line, and when they can fire off that ball and run downhill, that power tackle game is really effective for DeKalb.
E.J. Carroll chatting with his fellow officials. Are they picking up the flag?
Oh, wow, that's a big break for DeKalb, because I thought that was going to be holding on the wide receiver out there, but that's a big break for DeKalb. And DeKalb would love to get that run game cranked up. And, Joe, they're averaging 174 yards per game, so that's how they were really able to bludgeon Garrett last week, was between the tackles with their run game.
So DeKalb avoids the yellow laundry. Instead, they'll have a 1st and 10 at their own 48-yard line. Clock just under 7 minutes, time remaining, opening quarter, no score. One wide either side of the field now. Eschbach barking out the signals, looks, hands it off, and this is Zacharias, I think, in there. Kai Zacharias is able to get back only to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, it was good penetration that time with New Haven. Looked like DeAndre Wright filled that hole from his linebacker position, and they shut that play down. So that's what New Haven needs to do, and they haven't done it, Joe. New Haven needs to win on 1st down with their defense and force DeKalb into a passing situation. I was really shocked that New Haven gave up 288 yards rushing last week, so that's got to get better for Coach Lynn.
Tight trips package wide to the left, the short side of the field for DeKalb. And here is the drop by Eschbach. Looking time in the pocket, now reverses back to the left side, still on his feet, loads, throws to the left side, got a tip ball incomplete. In fact, New Haven had another possible shot at the interception, but Jamar Hutchins could not find the handle on it, and it'll bring up 3rd down and 10.
Yeah, and that New Haven defensive line was all over Eschbach that time. Looked like it was Josh Grigsby that got in there. If you're Eschbach, I understand you want to make a play, but you have to be careful not to make a big mistake there. But also on the back end, Joe, New Haven's got a lot of speed on the back end, and everybody was covered. So good defensive sequence that time for New Haven.
Third down and 10 last week at Garrett. Barretts were 3 of 7 for 43% on third down chances. Ishback gives ground, steps up in the pocket, throws on the middle, knocked away. Great defensive play, reaching in there. That was a good move that time, and getting a hand on that ball.
Yeah, Nigel Fields Lewis, Joe, and we talked about him in the pregame too. And what I like about that, Joe, was he took that right arm and didn't wrap it around the receiver, so he just led with the left arm and batted that ball away. So, I mean, that is great defense for New Haven. And New Haven has got some skilled players on the back end.
You know, that's 2 series now where the Bulldogs defense, especially their pass defense, has really risen at the challenge.
Yeah, it really has.
DeKalb now to punt it away. It'll come from the 37. Tailing ball to the far side, and that one is off the side of the foot. Evan Snyder, let's see where they're going to line it up. Official will move it up across the 25, still moving up to the 30, and that's where they'll say New Haven football at the Bulldog 30-yard line. First and 10 with 5:43 remaining still in this opening quarter, no score.
You know, last year New Haven got off to a slow start, but they were able to win this game 28-21, and it kind of helped Jimmy Lynn get a little bit of momentum last season. But this is another big game, because if you lose tonight, if you're New Haven, Joe, all of a sudden you're 0-3, and there's so many teams that haven't lost yet in the NEA.
Empty backfield now. No, then check it. It is Williams. He was under center for a moment. Does have a running back lined up behind. Looks to hand it off. Here's a little play. Keeper play. Williams off to the left side. Turns the corner. 40, 45. Blocker in front. 45, 40, 35-yard line. Tripped up and out of bounds. Deep into DeKalb territory. Inside the 30 all the way down to the 29-yard line goes Jamar Williams. Jakar Williams.
And that's what makes them special, Joe. Jakar Williams has the ability to plant the back leg and throw it, but he also has the ability to run out of the spread offense. They list him as 6'3", 215. I thought he was as big as me when I saw him, you know, down the field before the game, but he has tremendous potential at that quarterback position.
And very good at deceiving. Now a scoring opportunity for the Bulldogs. They'll look to hand it on. No, it's a pass. Again, Hutchins fights off the winning tackle, works to the 25, to the 20, all the way down inside the 15 to the 11-yard line. So Hutchins with a great move. Jamar Hutchins did not look like he had a lot there, and he does pick up the first down. And the Bulldogs now knocking on the door.
Yeah, it's tough to defend that because it's a play-action pass, and it's just a little quick pass to the flat, and Hutchins can gather that ball up and get downfield so fast.
Jakar Williams marking out the signals, now turns away, still 16 on the play clock. Clock stopped with 5:22 remaining, and they're going to change the play call at the line of scrimmage. Now we're down to 8, we're down to 7. Williams again, Jakar Williams looking, screens the ball into the flats right side. Here's Hutchins, got a block at the 10, at the 5, fighting for the goal line. Did he reach across? Touchdown! New Haven, just like last week, on the board on a 16-yard touchdown pass play. Jakar Williams and finding the elusive Jamar Hutchins.
That was the best drive of the year for New Haven, and you can see the confidence of Jakar Williams on that drive. You see Jakar Williams run it, you see Jakar Williams throw it, and on that last play, Joe, that's an audible out of your sophomore quarterback to make that play. That's what Coach Jimmy Lynn needs to get New Haven going. Best drive of the year.
Now the try for extra point is all the way. Penalty flag is thrown. Kick was good, but let's see if it's going to stand up before we take the break.
Number 48 Sowers is good. Bringing the score to your New Haven Bulldogs.
See if E.J. Carroll is going to bring him back out there. And it was a procedure against New Haven, so they'll have to try again.
Those extra points are so important. You don't want to make those mistakes on the penalty. But how about Jakar Williams, though, Joe, on that drive? And we talked about him pregame. Sophomore quarterback, you're trying to feel your way. You're trying to gain the confidence of the older teammates, and you need to make those plays. That was a great drive. And sometimes as a quarterback, not so much yours truly, but sometimes as a quarterback, a big run gets you going.
And you know, Joe, the other side of it, too, is if you're a young quarterback, you don't want to screw up. But sometimes when you focus on the negative, that costs it. From the 15 now, left-footed kick is long, and Sowers hits it again. So Braden Sowers will make it a 7-0 ball game. We have a timeout here at New Haven. 7-0 Bulldogs in the early lead. This is IHSAA football on Fox Sports, 1250 The Ticket.
starter and a 50-50 statement at the Bulldog Football Booster Tent.
Contributing sponsors making tonight's broadcast possible include Kelly Automotive Group, 1,000 new vehicles and 500 pre-owned. Tom Steele Tire, 2 locations in Fort Wayne, and Big Eyed Fish with the best fish in Fort Wayne.
Go for some of that fish.
I hear it, brother. Here we go, kick us away. And again, fielded inside the 10, far side. Run across the hash mark. This time New Haven shuts it down right around the 20-yard line. That's where DeKalb goes back on offense. First and 10, trailing 7-0.
A slow start for DeKalb. Now, if I'm DeKalb, my message to quarterback Evan Eschbach is don't try to do it all yourself. Use your weapons, make good decisions. And I also think that's the message for the sophomore quarterback, Jakar Williams. You got to remember when you play the quarterback position, you have so much talent around you. Just keep in mind, you just want to distribute that football.
Other games going on tonight in the Northeast 8, Columbia City at Huntington North. Leo plays at Norwell. Both those teams 2-0. Big long jam right at the top of the Northeast 8 going into week 3, but it's the first night of conference play. Here's a cut up the middle into the second level, and it will be Tanner Jacket. No chicken, that's Landon.
Yeah, Landon Miller that time, Joe. We talked about him in the pregame, too. 24 carries, 165 yards, 7 yards a carry. And I tell you what, DeKalb's had a lot of success, Joe, running between the tackles. And I think right now, if I'm Coach Kemp, I stick with that formula.
Well, the man wasn't predicting rain, but I believe we're getting some showers right now here at John Young Stadium. Some of the umbrellas starting to go up. So that'll be 1st and 10. DeKalb at their own 36. Eschbach, pistol alignment again. Wing back to the right. Play action does hand it off their final hole, and backpedaling up to about the 44-yard line. The ball carrier will pick up another 7 yards.
And that Landon Miller runs hard, Joe. 5'10", 175, the senior, good vision, and I like that one cut and go. DeKalb likes that zone blocking scheme. They've had a lot of success with it. But I tell you, speaking of the NE8, that's a big game with Norwell and Leo. A lot of people knew Leo would be better, but I think so far Norwell and their scores have been one of the surprise team in the areas.
Tanner Huff in, one of the wide for the Barons to the right side. And here is Eschbach, who floats the ball up. That's Huff made the catch, had to go high for it. Does hold on at the 49. That'll be good for a first down. Tanner Huff had one catch last week, good for 19 yards, and that one was good for a touchdown a week ago.
Yeah, it's a nice catch out there because you have to be patient and wait on that ball. It was a good close by Howard Chandler for New Haven to close down on that, but that's your quick passing game. And if I'm DeKalb, that's what I'm sticking with. I just want to run those quick passes and attack, and I want to get back to my power rushing game off tackle.
Barron's just a yard short of midfield now. They'll work from the right side hash mark. Eschbach hands the ball off. Here's Miller this time struggling to get back to the line of scrimmage, and he does, but just that.
Yeah, that's good defense. And I tell you, that time, we talk about the linebacker, DeAndre Wright getting in there, but that time Chandler Zimmerman from the outside linebacker got in the backfield so fast, and that's what New Haven needs. When I was breaking the game down, Joe, I didn't see any sacks, and I saw very few tackles for loss for New Haven so far this year. So with your defense, you need more penetration, more disruption up front.
Zacharias is lone wide to the left side. Again, onto the outside, the corners for New Haven up in press coverage. Second down and 10. Eschbach looks, hands it off, and off tackle play to run to the right side. And Miller just broke 2 tackles and will gain to the New Haven 43-yard line. You got to wrap up, and you've got to make that tackle.
Yeah, that's a nice job out there by the offensive guard for DeKalb, number 56, Floyd Stafford, to get that block. And how about Miller's patience, Joe? A lot of times as running backs, you have to be patient and let those holes open up. And Miller showed you what a good back he is, because if you don't wrap him up, he's not going to go down. So New Haven has got to hit him low and wrap him up. A good back is going to run through those high tackles.
Barron's trying to reach the 41. They've got 3rd down and 2 coming up. And now with 5 on the play clock, let's see if they're going to take a timeout. They will. So Pete Kemp wants to make sure of the call. His team trails 7-0 here on the road. 2:54 remains in the opening quarter. Bulldogs by 7. We'll be back IHSAA football right here on Fox Sports 1250 The Ticket.
We are the region's largest integrated sports medicine team, providing athletes specialized services from improving their performance to recovering from injuries. To learn more, go to parkviewsportsmedicine.com.
Well, we hope you're enjoying tonight's game on SummitCitySports.com. You can locate them on Twitter at 260Sports. Sponsors also include LS Tech, a Mexican restaurant, and Anderson Heating and Air Conditioning. Third down and short. Big call coming up both sides of the ball. New Haven 7-0 here with under 3 minutes remaining in the opening quarter. Shotgun formation now. Evan Ashback, the senior quarterback for the Bears. Long count from the line of scrimmage, trying to draw the Bulldogs off. They'll hand the ball off, and the Bulldogs stop it for a loss back outside the 45.
How about Trevor Reed that time, number 44, the outside linebacker for New Haven, getting back there and blowing that play up, and DeAndre Wright cleans it up. So, wow, we knew New Haven had some problems against the run last week. They're starting to get it cleaned up, Joe, and fill those holes. So now a big gamble here for DeKalb. And if I'm DeKalb, I'd be real tempted to put the ball in the air to Easton Rhodes this time.
It'll be 4th down and 5 with the ball just outside the 45-yard line of the Bulldogs. DeKalb trying to reach the 41. They're going to gamble and go for it on 4th down. Ashback looking and does run the ball. Here's Miller. Miller has got the first down as he spun right at the 42. Well, let's depend on the spot.
Oh, he got a poor spot. I thought he got the first down, and that shows the belief that Coach Kemp has in his offensive line to run the football. But
Joe, where they put the football down is different from where the official was marked.
He's going to have that first down when they put it down. And I thought he had it, Joe. I thought he laid out and got across the markers.
Well, they are going to bring the chains out, and I appreciate that by the officials. So, it's a big game, first conference game in the Northeast 8. They want to make sure they got it right.
He ran behind Tyson Conley that time, the offensive tackle, 6'3", 265. And Conley just fires off the ball, and I think he got enough of a push that DeKalb's going to have this first down by about half a football.
Joe, other games going on tonight in the SAC. It is 2-0 Snyder playing at Concordia.
Oh, my gosh.
He didn't get it on the measurement.
Oh, he got it. Yeah, got it by his credit card.
Other games, Homestead hosting Bishop Luers. And number 3 ranked Dwenger, they're at Southside tonight. Northrop hosting Wayne, will be at Wayne Stadium next Friday night. Carroll traveling to Northside in the ACAC. It's Woodland playing at Heritage. Both those teams 0-2.
Yeah, a lot of big games. I'm curious to see how Wayne responds. I was surprised Wayne's 0-2 already, and Wayne's going to love playing on that turf. Let's see if Northrop can get a little bit of momentum in that game, Joe. I think obviously Dwanger's going to roll south. It'll be interesting to see how Snyder handles Concordia after that emotional win over Carroll, and let's see how Carroll responds against Northside. So good matchups, and can Bishop Luers slow down Luke Goody and Homestead tonight?
Barron's going to stay in that power lineup just one wide, and there was movement very decisively across the line of scrimmage defensively, so that may bring up 1st and 5.
If you're a defensive player, you got to watch the football. You can't make those mistakes, and that's when you get tired on a drive and you make those mistakes, and that's what hurt New Haven. We talked about in the pregame.
Can't guess, can you?
You can't guess, and don't beat yourself. DeKalb gets a big first down, all of a sudden you jump off sides. And if I'm DeKalb, I would attack here. It's a great time for a play-action pass.
Tanner Huff alone wide to the left side. 2 tight ends off the left side for the Barons. Or option run to the right. They pooch the ball. That's fumbled away. Scrambled. New Haven's got it at their own 35.
That should be an incomplete pass. That's a Colorado shovel pass. And
I believe you're right, Joe.
Yeah, that should be an incomplete pass. It looks like a fumble the way that play got blown up, but that's an incomplete pass. And you know what? I'm going to be critical now. I don't like that play. You're having success running off tackle, and now you're going to try to push the ball forward in the middle of the line, not with DeAndre Wright out there. I get back and I run my power game off tackle, Joe. That's going to be an incomplete pass.
So it will be 2nd down and 5 with the ball at the New Haven 36-yard line.
I used to hate that play. I used to call that play when I played. And I didn't know whether to flip it or underhand it or what. I'm like, can't we just throw it? I hate it. Was the Colorado shovel pass, and it was all these names. I always hated that play.
Huff this time splits wide to the right side. Zacharias up on the slot to the right side as well. Ishback looks to Miller. Miller off tackle left side, and he's got the first down again as he battles down to the Bulldog 30-yard line. They'll move the chains again.
And that's DeKalb football right there. And Tyler Pomeroy, the left guard, did you see him flatten his guy and put him on the turf? That's DeKalb Barron football. Let's line up with the good back in Miller, and let's run right at New Haven off tackle, and let's use our strength. We don't need that little shovel pass. Let's play power football. Let's play Bishop Dwenger ISO football. Let's run behind that offensive line for DeKalb.
1st and 10. Barron's on the move at the Bulldog 30-yard line. Ishback again, looking for the snap and looks to hand it off, and he'll try to run. Miller steps out of one tackle and then lowers the shoulder, got it down inside the 27. And the Bulldogs have had some chances again, one-on-one against Miller, but he's tough to bring down.
Yeah, and you always mention it, Joe. It's so important for those corners to come in on run support. Howard Chandler that time, a good corner, came up and had the first shot at Miller, and he's got to wrap him up and make that tackle. But you're seeing what a good back Miller is, Joe.
We will head to the end of the first quarter. 7-0 Bulldogs on top, but DeKalb threatening.
Joint pain, sprains, strains, or a possible broken bone? Make the Parkview Ortho Express walk-in clinic your first stop when you have an orthopedic or sports injury. Call 260-266-4007 for more information.
Give your home the curb appeal it deserves, and trust Kurt's Mio to power wash your home. Additional services include concrete sealing, deck and fence cleaning, driveway replacement, and stamped concrete. Just head on over to kurtzmio.com. Request your virtual quote and use the code SummitCity for 15% off all power washing services today. That's kurtzmio.com, supporting the youth of Fort Wayne.
It's the comets. Comets falling from the sky. 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 Comets falling from the sky.
Lineup. One wide to the left side. That again is going to be Tanner Huff. Ishback looking again on the read option. Hands it off. And finally, they'll hand that ball. Tanner Jack is back in there as the running back. And he's about a yard, maybe a couple of yards down close to the 25-yard line.
Yeah, Tommy made a good point. Tommy talked about New Haven just needs to tackle better, Joe. They're in the right places. You got to tackle better. So that time, DeKalb comes back with the big back Jack, but New Haven gets him on the ground. So now it sets up a really big third down play here. It'll be interesting if DeKalb runs off tackle again or works that play action game.
3rd down and 5. See, Barron's going to take Dominic Blevins in. Meanwhile, Ishback now out of the shotgun. He'll roll to the left side. Looking's got some running room. Cuts it out to the 20-yard line, being strung out, though, by the Bulldogs. And so he'll beat to the 20. That's close to the first down.
It's going to be close. And Ishback that time, Joe, he's got to know where that marker is. He's just got to put his head down and get that first down. They could be about a yard short, Joe, and I thought that play had a chance to have a bigger gain. I like the play call, but Ishback has to be more decisive when he runs that football, and you got to plant that outside leg and get upfield because now it's going to be a big 4th down play.
4th down and a yard. They spot it at the Bulldog 21-yard line. Early moments of the second quarter, 7-0 New Haven. Blevins in, he's tight to the right side. Ishback looking to Miller. Miller off tackle, cuts it up. Did he get there? Spun? I don't know. Looks like he's short by that, maybe a half a yard. It depends on the spot.
I'd say that's great penetration again by Chandler Zimmerman. We'll see what kind of spot he gets. I think he's short, Joe. That was a heck of the penetration of New Haven to break that play down. So, and that would be huge for the New Haven defense. I think he's short, Joe.
No indication yet.
First down, Bulldogs.
And now they do say it'll be New Haven's football with this 4th down stop.
How about that? Last week, they gave up 288 yards rushing. They get a big stop there. So now you're starting to see, Coach Lentz feeling better about his defense coming together and getting more penetration. So a big 4th down stop. And now if I'm New Haven, I tell Jakar Williams, just play within yourself and work with your weapons.
Looks like maybe Jarrell Jackson has come in. And look, they're going to run the ball, but not much there. Here's Jakar Williams spins off and tackle. Just get back close to the line of scrimmage. Maybe he is going to lose about a yard and a half. That looked like a problem right from the handoff.
Yeah, I think DeAndre Wright saying, "You going to give it to me or what?" And Jakar Williams better tuck that football. That was like a loaf of bread out there the way he was carrying that, and that's what got him in trouble last week. So, okay, you're off to a good start. But don't get lackadaisical with that football.
Too wide to the left side, a loss of 1. Second down, 11 clock inside of 10 minutes remaining first half. Pitch comes to the right side. Here's a quick hitting play, not much there. Gain is only out to about the 22 or 23-yard line.
Now I'm going to be a little bit critical, and keep in mind, as a head coach, I was 2-7 last year of flag football with the kindergartners, so keep that in mind, but I don't like that play. If I'm going to run that pitch with DeAndre Wright all the speed, run that play to the wide side. Give your back more room to work and attack DeKalb more on the edge if you're New Haven.
Third down and 8. Bulldogs trying to reach their own 31-yard line. Now Williams again might be changing the play call. Still 14 on the play clock. DeAndre Wright, they flip-flop him now to the left of Jakar Williams. He'll roll to the left side, looking to throw on the run, and this one missed his receiver out there trying to find Hutchins. Or Hutchins had a bit of an angle, running the up and out pattern.
Hutchins was open, and that's where Jakar Williams is so raw. You're going to have to work with them on that. It's so hard to throw back across your body, rolling to the left. On that play, when it's a deep flag route like that, Joe, he needs to set his feet and deliver that football. On the deeper routes, you have the time to set your feet and point those shoulders and deliver a good football. It's something that he'll learn as he plays the position more.
Chandler in to punt for the Bulldogs now, waits at the New Haven 10. Comes the snap. Now he's going to run with it. And he's got to get out to the 31. And he's got a first down. 35, 40, 45 midfield at the 40-yard line. Down the left sideline. Did he step out of bounds? He did. Otherwise, he is to the house.
How about that? A little bit of trickery for Coach Lim, but I like it. You know, you have a senior punter who's athletic back there. Roll the dice. Show the kids you really want to win this game and gamble a little bit. And how about the speed of Chandler to run away? So that's a huge play, Joe, and bookmark that play, because now an opportunity. New Haven can go down and cash in on this play. That's tremendous momentum. So I love it with Coach Lynn. Hats off to gamble with your kids.
So they have a fourth down stop and now a fourth down gamble, and at the 37-yard line. Here's a screen coming near side. That ball is caught. Run to the 35 lane, and he gains down to the 22-yard line before stepping out of bounds. Lane Woodson. I'll tell you what, that pass scared me, though, Joe.
Because he was throwing it to number 3, Lamar Hutchins, and at the last second, Williams shows you his ability to deal it, Joe. He throws it over Hutchins' head to Woodson.
It's a good thing because DeKalb was right there in the pattern.
I thought it was going to be a pick six if he was going to throw it to Hutchins. So good recognition by Williams, and he shows you that athletic ability on that play.
Bulldogs at the 22 now, and they'll look to DeAndre Wright. No, it's a keeper play. And Jakar Williams to the 21.
That's Landon Miller coming up from the linebacker position for DeKalb. Great recognition by Landon Miller to stay home and make that tackle on Williams, because if he doesn't make that tackle, I think Williams could have got to the end zone on that play, Joe.
Last week, DeAndre Wright had 17 carries, 75 yards. Now there was movement at the line of scrimmage. This one may go against the Barons.
Yeah, you don't see that. DeKalb's usually pretty disciplined. But that time they got caught off sides, and it was Nate Turnbull that bid on that. Nate Turnbull's a good defensive player, 5'9", 235, the senior, a defensive lineman for DeKalb, but that'll drive the coaches nuts, Joe, because Turnbull's lined up right over the football, and you're always told, watch the ball if you're on defense.
They'll spot it just outside the DeKalb 16-yard line now. It'll be second down and 4. Here's Williams, looks, throws right, the ball dropped. In and out of the hands of Lane Woodson, who had 5 catches last week, averaged over 9 yards a carry, had a touchdown, but that one had a lot of heat on it, could not control it.
Yeah, he did. Woodson's a heck of a football player, but he's got to catch that ball. And the reason Williams had to put some mustard on that is that's a quick hook to the short side. He's got to be on time and fit that ball in there. And speaking of being on time, John Barnes did a great job for Snyder last week with that.
Here's Wright off tackle. He's got some running room. Brings it inside the 10 to the 5. DeAndre Wright running hard. It'll be first and goal. Bulldogs still on top 7-0 and trying to add more.
That's a nice play. And now you're beginning to see what Coach Lynn really envisioned with this New Haven offense, Joe. Quick passes, Williams a threat running the ball, and then a big, strong back with Wright that can run off tackles. So now you're starting to see this New Haven offense come together.
Lamar Hutchins and Lane Winson off to the right side, 2 wide to the left, 1 back look. And here is Wright again, continues on and dives for the end zone, touchdown. DeAndre Wright would not be denied. They had him wrapped up at the 3, but he broke the tackle. And a 5-yard touchdown for New Haven. They'll lead it 13-0.
6'2", 220, the junior, and nothing there, but he just runs through tackles, and that's just the heart and the will of DeAndre Wright. We talked about him in the pregame as a sophomore, Joe. 88 tackles in the linebacker position. They love the fact that he can go both ways and also play in the backfield, and you saw that toughness there for a big touchdown run.
Now the left-footed extra point kick is on the way. Looks good, is good. 14-0 Bulldogs here at home at John Young Stadium. And we'll be back. This is IHSAA football right here on Fox Sports, 1250 The Ticket. Bulldogs enjoying some rarefied air here. They are up in the Northeast 8 conference game, 14-0 on undefeated DeKalb. By the way, coming up halftime, our Indiana-Michigan Power halftime show. Young lady by the name of Katrina Walburn will join us. She'll preview the annual Fort Wayne Art Show. And coming up this weekend at Jefferson Point.
I know her.
A little bit, huh? She's real excited about the 40-plus artists coming out and jewelry on display. Great music. Yes. Going to be a great weekend.
So much talent out there on display.
Here comes the kick now. Left-footed kick. Going to be short. That'll be fielded at the 19-yard line. Straight ahead carry across the 30 up to the 35. And Stillmore up to about the 37 is where the Barons will start on offense first and turn as Caleb Nixon gets them in pretty good field position to start this drive.
Couple scores to pass along, and if you're watching this on the SummitCitySports platform, it's awesome when you can kind of bump around to different games and pop in and see the scores. But really, so far early on, Joe, Snyder 14, Concordia nothing. So Snyder, staying strong after that big physical win with Carroll. No look ahead against Concordia. And how about Wayne? Wayne 13-7 over Northrop, and that's a game that Wayne desperately needs.
Wideouts, one each way. Zacharias to the left, Tanner Huff to the right. Eschbach down 14-0. They'll run the ball up the middle. Here's a hard-nosed run again for about 15. And was there a face mask in there? Gauges out across the 41 to about the 42.
I thought there was, but I think maybe he just grabbed his shoulder pads. But now it's going to be interesting. Let's see if DeKalb stays patient with their run game, Joe. Now they're down 14-0. New Haven's feeling good. They can really attack. Will DeKalb stay patient with their run game? They need to, because that's where they had the success in the first half.
Deshaun Morgan on the stop had 7 tackles, 1 for loss last week in the loss to Mississauga. Gain of 6, second down and 4. Eschbach with wide to the left, hands the ball, and here's a run after. That's Tanner Jack. Jack able to get free and picks up the first down, brings it just short of, well, let's see, they may mark it a yard deep into New Haven territory at the 49.
That's all night long for DeKalb, and Tanner Jack is a little bit bigger, plants the outside leg and drives ahead, and if I'm DeKalb, I stick with that run game and get back in this game. So, and I think later on, New Haven's got a lot of kids that go both ways. So I think later on in the game, that can really wear New Haven out.
Barons now into Bulldog territory, 1st and 10. Eschbach again out of that pistol lineman, looks to run it again. There's a cut up the middle nicely by Jack. Jack to the 45. They'll give him another yard and a half inside the 44.
And that's Josh Grigsby that makes the tackle, 6'2", 240. The defensive tackle for New Haven. He's a heck of a football player too, but you see Jack, the ability to read those blocks, Joe, and always to get that positive yards. And when DeKalb can stay in that 2nd and 5, they're so much more effective with their offense.
Easton Rhodes in. He's wide to the right side. He's got some company out there as well. Eschbach has been running the ball, wants to throw here. Throws to a spot, got a man. That one nearly intercepted, played very well by New Haven. And Joe, I want to say something about this Bulldogs defense. They've kind of had a bend, don't break philosophy so far in this first half as Nigel Fields-Lewis came up and nearly had the 2nd interception of the night for the Dogs.
Yeah, they got the plays when they needed it, and that's a great read from the safety position of Lewis to come up and break that ball up, because I thought Eschbach had Rhodes on that, but that's a heck of a defensive play for New Haven, and now a huge 3rd down here for DeKalb, Joe.
Barron's trying to reach the New Haven 39 on this snap. Eschbach again. Waits, looks, play action fake, gets to Miller. And Miller fighting's got the 1st down on 2nd effort. Broke a tackle at the 41. Well, let's see. Now, did he get there?
It's going to be close. I thought New Haven had him maybe stopped right at the marker.
Just outside the 39.
Yeah, Miller really pushed forward to get up there to get close. It's going to be 4th and maybe half a yard. And New Haven had him in the backfield and missed the tackle, but big play here again for DeKalb. Need to convert this 4th down. If I was DeKalb, I would just quarterback sneak it here.
In too wide to the short side for the Barons. Eschbach with a running back lined up behind him. Looks to Miller. Miller up the middle, 2nd effort. And still on his feet inside the 35 down to the 30-yard line. And still more down. Finally bumped out of bounds, just would not go down until he reached close to the 26-yard line.
They ran behind Hoyt Stafford that time, 6'4", 260. The senior, a phenomenal prospect, Joe. And DeKalb with Coach Kemp have really emphasized the weight room work. And DeKalb is much stronger and much physical. And if I'm DeKalb, I just keep this ball on the ground.
Clock at 5:36, time remaining 2nd quarter. 14-0 New Haven, but knocking on the door now. The Barons getting closer. Eschbach read option and hands it off. And it'll be run. And all the way down to the 10-yard line. There was great deception on that play.
Yeah, and that's great ball handling by DeKalb to get that play. And again, that's Miller just running downhill, and Landon Miller, who came in averaging 7 yards a carry, having a big first half. How important is it for DeKalb now, Joe, to really cash in and get a touchdown on this drive?
1st and goal at the 10, and they'll bring Tanner Jack back in as the running back. Lined up behind Eschbach. Evan Eschbach looks again to hand it off. Keeps it himself, rolls to the right, is at the 5, and he will score. Evan Eschbach rolling around the right side, fake the handoff. 10-yard run by Eschbach at 5 carries, 17 yards, and gets into the end zone at the 5:06 mark to cut the lead in half.
Good team's answer, and that time DeKalb answered, and they did it with their staple, the power rushing attack. So that time you see that DeKalb offensive line just dominate the game. And if I'm Coach Kemp, I really keep it that simple, and I run between the tackles. But a good read by Eschbach to get the touchdown, and a huge touchdown there for DeKalb.
Zacharias 3 for 3 last week on extra point conversions. Kick is up and on the way. It is good. And we will step out. 14-7. Barons on the board, but New Haven still up by 7. This is IHSAA football on Fox Sports 1250 The Ticket. 163-yard drive ends in a 5-yard touchdown run by Evan Ashbeck. 14-7. Now, Joe, it'll be important to see how the Bulldogs respond.
Yeah, you really want to get a stop here if you're DeKalb, but if you're New Haven, you want to get back down the field and get some points before the halftime. So New Haven had all the momentum, but DeKalb has a big touchdown drive there, so that was really important before the half for DeKalb to get back in the game. And I got a score that's going to blow your pants off here. Second quarter, Homestead 33, Bishop Lures nothing. So Woodshed timeout Southwest, and Homestead has really rolled through the schedule so far, Joe, with Luke Goody and that dangerous offense.
Bulldogs not expecting a deep kick. The 2 kick returns back around the 20-yard line only. And here comes Zacharaskos. Now he does pooch the ball to the far side. That one will go out of bounds. It'll be a penalty. So the Bulldogs can take it up around the 35, I believe.
Yeah, and that's the respect for Najee Fields-Lewis back there for New Haven. He's an explosive returner. And Coach Kemp and DeKalb is trying to be so careful, Joe, but sometimes you just outthink yourself and you put yourself in a tough situation. So good field position for New Haven and the chance to really attack.
Okay, play coach for a minute now for me. Would you be tempted to make him kick again from 5 yards deeper?
I would be, because I know the explosiveness that you have in Lewis, and New Haven has so many weapons in the open field, so it would be tempting, but also good field position. That's one thing that's helped New Haven tonight. They've had really good field position for the young quarterback, where last week with Mississinawa, they really had some tough field position.
Williams Young, sophomore quarterback, in there now. And there's a penalty flag thrown. It's going to be procedure against New Haven.
It's penalty number 5, and
I don't think they had 7 men up the line of scrimmage, Joe, perhaps.
Yeah, if I'm Coach Lynn, I like the first half. I like the way my defense has done. It's held up pretty good against the run. My offense has been explosive. It's these small mental errors that are really hurting New Haven. Killed them last week, and you're not going to be able to get away with this in the second half against a good football team.
Spread offense once again for New Haven, 2 wide either side, but now it's first down and 15. With the ball back at the 30-yard line. Here's a pitch coming to the left and nothing there. They'll reverse, and boy, DeKalb is going to eat that up with a loss back around the 20-yard line.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, I thought he had a chance to reverse the field, but DeKalb did a great job to slow that play up, Joe. So how about the defense that time out there for DeKalb? And discipline. You have to stay disciplined if you're DeKalb out there.
Pitch came to Fields-Lewis, and normally you want to get him into space, but DeKalb played that one defensively very well. Second down and even longer. Now 2nd and 22. Bulldogs would have to get out to their own 45 on this series. Second down, snap coming, and now the officials going to call for a timeout. And it's DeKalb that'll take the stoppage here. So with 4:22 remaining until halftime, 14-7, New Haven on top. But when we return to John Young Stadium, this is IHSAA football on Fox Sports 1250 The Ticket.
Our integrated sports medicine team, including the region's only specialized athletic rehab. Learn more about our services by logging on to ParkviewSportsMedicine.com.
36 for DeKalb.
None on my 2 deep. Oh, yeah, Turnbull. The starting lineup, offensive lineup for the Bulldogs, averaging 233 a man, tackle to tackle. Andrew Faulkner at center, Stephen Forey and Raymond Burth the guards. Josh Grisby, a two-way player, senior 240, and Deshaun Morgan, ditto, 230, a senior, and 6'2". They are at the tackle positions. Second down and long. Williams with 2 wide again, either side of the field. They spread things out. Now he backs up out of the shotgun formation. Still 13 on the play clock. Here's the snap. Williams to throw. Pump fake. Now throws the fade down. He's got a man wide open downfield. Ball is underthrown and incomplete. In and out of the hands of the would-be receiver at about the 44-yard line. That's a play that, boy, was that Hutchins down there? Let's see.
looked like Hutchins. It was Carter Miller on the coverage for DeKalb, the senior, number 8. And oh boy, was he beaten, and he recovered. And that's where the young quarterback's just got to get that football out there. Now, with no safety in the middle of the field, Joe, you can bring them back in the middle of the field, but you got to get that football out there because New Haven had the wide receiver wide open on that play, and DeKalb's lucky to get away with that.
That was Jamar Hutchins, and the ball was underthrown. He had to come back and wait for it, and that allowed DeKalb to rally. Now 3rd down and long. Shotgun formation again. Williams, short drop, looking, dances, steps up, throws in the middle, incomplete, nobody home. That went over, looking for Hutchins once again. And a little deep crossing pattern. He was open at the 45. That would have been a first down.
Yeah, he was open, and what Jakar Williams has to do, he was getting happy feet that time. He has to plant that back leg, Joe, and deliver that football. Sometimes when you're in the pocket, in your mind, that timer goes off. That was great pass protection, and Williams needs to step into that throw and stick it on Hutchins. So that penalty hurt New Haven on that possession, Joe, and now DeKalb has a chance for some good field position before the half.
Howard Chandler into the punt, waits back at the 9-yard line. I believe that's Easton Rhodes in punt return. Whistles blew right at the snap. Clock at 4:10. E.J. Carroll, another procedure call against New Haven.
And that's going to drive Jimmy Lynn nuts because that's going to back him up more. Don't want to give DeKalb the short field because with only 4 minutes left, a short field allows them to run the ball. If you can get the field position flipped, it kind of takes away DeKalb's ability to run the ball because there's not a lot of time left before the half.
Now Chandler waits for the snap inside the 5, back around the 2-yard line. Needs a good delivery to him. Low ball, picks it off the turf. Kick is away, low line drive, bounding ball. That'll be field. Taken by Easton, gets away from one, but now the Bulldogs are there en masse to knock him down at the DeKalb 49-yard line.
And Easton rolls the dice, but that's the right decision. If I'm Coach Kemp, I'm saying that'll boy Easton because if he doesn't pick that ball up, Joe, it can roll 10, 15 yards, and you're going to get smacked or tattooed when you pick it up like that, but he makes the right choice, and he saves in the field position because with 4 minutes left, it's kind of hard to get down the field with that power rushing attack, but at the 50-yard line, you have a chance. So that's gutsy, and that's courage by Easton to catch that football.
And remember, DeKalb has used 2 timeouts already. They have one only remaining.
That's why it's so important for DeKalb to have some good field position on that.
Now E.J. Carroll's coming over with some kind of
huge penalty. It's going to be a personal foul face mask on New Haven, and that is just devastating. And I tell you, New Haven's played well in the first half, but Coach Lynn's going to be nuts at halftime because now DeKalb's going to get the ball all the way down on New Haven's, 35? Joe, that's a huge penalty, and it opens up DeKalb's playbook to really attack New Haven, and those are the mistakes you just can't make, Joe. I mean, and Coach Lynn's a good football coach, and you gotta be disciplined not to make those mistakes.
Well, they only moved the ball to the 45.
Okay, maybe it was, an incidental, I don't know, but still, that's a good field position for DeKalb, and you just can't give them those yards.
Bulldogs with just one safety, now check it now, 2 back. As Eschbach is in there, 1st and 10 at the New Haven 45. Barron's down 7. Read option again, and up the middle goes Landon Miller, and just a diesel engine, picks up 10 down inside the 35 to the 34-yard line.
Dragging Deshaun Morgan that finally brought him down, and New Haven plays, Joe, New Haven plays that 3-4 defense, but at some point you're going to have to roll out of that, Joe, and get into a 5-man front or get some more guys at the point of attack.
Tyler Pomeroy was slow getting up, but so is the Bulldogs, still down on bended knee. So we're going to have an injury timeout here with 3:52 remaining in this first half. So we have a stoppage of play. This injury timeout brought to you by Parkview Sports Medicine, a winning combination with the IHSAA. And we'll be back. IHSAA football on Fox Sports, 12:50 The Ticket. We may get you another one. We'll see. I would say you're good for a second 30.
It's Josh Grigsby.
And Miller with the ball.
Back at a DeKalb touchdown. The deep handoff to Landon Miller, and he was off to the races, working off tackle. The left side goes 34 yards. And a tying touchdown pending the conversion here at the 3:35 mark.
And the injury to the New Haven defensive lineman Josh Grigsby really hurt them. That allowed DeKalb to use that offensive line and run downhill. And how about that run by Landon Miller? One cut and into the end zone. And that DeKalb offensive line is really taking control of this football game.
Zacharias on for the tie now. Waiting for the snap. Hold is good. Kick is long enough on the way, and we are tied. 3:35 remaining here until intermission. 14-14 tie. Stoppage down below. We'll be back. This is IHSAA football here on Fox Sports 1250 The Ticket. One minute break. Well, New Haven took a 14-0 lead, but now DeKalb has scored the last 14 points of this ball game. We have a new game, a new tie.
And can you say adversity? Let's see how New Haven responds to it.
Kick coming near side. That's fielded at the 10. Right across the 15, 20, 25, 30. Some running room off the left side. And it'll be Hutchins all the way to the 35-yard line. First and 10.
If it wasn't for Caleb Nixon for DeKalb making that tackle, I thought Hutchins was going to take that ball to the house. New Haven was fortunate that time because there was a clip on that play that wasn't called. A good field position for New Haven. And let's see if they can get off to a fast start here, Joe.
Joe, I want to correct it. It was Nigel Fields-Lewis on the kick return. So first and 10 at the Bulldog 35.
This is a big drive for momentum for New Haven. You'd like to put some points on before you go to the locker room.
Bulldogs have got their full complement of timeouts left, I believe. Here's a read option, a roll to the right side by Williams. Got a block. 35 up to the 40, 41. As he's tackled down by Landon Miller. That'll be a gain of about 6.
I like that play because Williams is really comfortable running the option, and he's so big to bring down, Joe. I like that play. It's a nice play for New Haven.
Nose of the football just outside the Bulldog 41, so improving field position now for New Haven. Trying to break the 14-14 tie. Shotgun formation once again. Again, the read option. Here's a screen near side. Fields-Lewis going nowhere.
Again, I hate that play to the short side, Joe. First of all, it's tough to catch that ball because Williams is zipping it, and there's nowhere to go with Fields-Lewis. Fields-Lewis has so much speed. Run that play to the wide side so you at least give Lewis the chance to make a play. But good defense by DeKalb, but the sideline's their friend, and there's nowhere for Lewis to go on that.
Loss is all the way back to the New Haven 37, so they'll bring a third down and 8. Bulldogs trying to reach their 45 on this snap. Williams looks to throw near side. Ball off the fingertips, incomplete at the 46.
And Woodson's got to make that catch. He's a good football player, and that ball's on time by Williams. That's the perfect read. And Woodson's too good to drop that ball out there, Joe. And also it stops the clock. So maybe a chance for DeKalb. If DeKalb can get a good play on special teams, maybe a chance for DeKalb to attack again.
Chandler in to punt, had one last week just for 24 yards. on this artificial surface. His low line drives have paid dividends. Looks, kicks it away, this time a little higher, but off the side of his foot. It's into DeKalb territory. Bounds inside the 40, still rolling to the 35, and finally touched at the 34 with 2:04 remaining here in the first half. And now the Barons have a chance to take their first lead of the night.
Now, if I'm Coach Lynn here, I gamble. I get out of that 3-4, Joe. I get into a 5-2, or I bring those outside linebackers up to the line of scrimmage, because right now DeKalb's just mauling that defensive line, and you lost Grigsby with the injury for New Haven. So if I'm New Haven, I got to get more guys at the point of attack and try to slow down that run game.
First and 10, ball at the 34-yard line. Joe gets ready to make his way down to field level. New Haven making a late substitution. Ishback now, he's got a bunch lined up to his left and out of that motion back to the right side. Look to hand it off. And run that time by Corey Price. Gets the call, and 2 carries last week. Scored a touchdown off of 27 yards gained. And on this carry across the 40, though they'll mark it right at the 40, that'll be a pickup of about 6. Remember, DeKalb just 1 timeout remaining. Now they hurry up to the line of scrimmage. Tight end tight to the right side. A bunch line up. Empty backfield with 4 wide to the left for Eschbach. Got Price in motion once again from left to right. Lines up in the 1-back position. They'll hand the ball to him. And knocked down at the 40, but rolls forward across the 41. And it'll bring up 3rd down and still about 3, let's call it.
3rd down to DeKalb.
No huddle virtually by the Barons. Aware of the clock, now approaching 1 minute time remaining. They stay in that same set with 4 wide to the left. And motion out of it again. Here's a screen coming. Price has got it, drop the ball. So they'll bring up 4th down now with under a minute. And now you've got a decision if you're Pete Kemp. And they've made that decision. They will punt the ball away. They don't want to take any chances. Remember, New Haven won the toss, deferred. They'll get the ball to start the second half. But New Haven now will have Fields Lewis back in punt return. Evan Snyder waits at the 27, steps into it, got a lot of leg into this one. That's fielded at the 20, running wide to the right side, Fields Lewis, and gets a block. He's at the 35, at the 40, turns the corner, 50, 40, 35, down to the, knocked out of bounds at the 25-yard line. So New Haven, with the speed and elusiveness of DJ Fields Lewis, they've got a chance with 45 seconds remaining in this first half to go on top here at home in this 14 all-time. Great run, and you can see why Pete Kemp was trying to keep the ball away from him, but not that time. 1st and 10 Bulldogs. They've got it at the 25. Or did he step out of bounds back around the 30? They're going to move the ball back. It still is very good field position for the Bulldogs. Moving from left to right. They've not yet marked the ball ready for play. Now E.J. Carroll, referee, gets set, and we will play football now. Now they change the play call once again. Game clock is not started. Play clock is down to 14. Shakar Williams gets ready once again. He's got 2 wide either side of the field to work with. Hands to Yandere Wright. Wright squirts through on the left side. Takes it down to the 22. Remember 2 weeks ago, a missed field goal hurt New Haven, and then they lost in overtime by 1, and they're going to take a timeout now with 40.1 seconds remaining. This 14-14 tie. It'll be 2nd down and 7 when we return to John Young Stadium. This is IHSAA football right here on Fox Sports, 1250 The Ticket.
Parkview Sports Medicine continues to lead the way in Northeast Indiana. The new Parkview Ortho Express Clinic offers direct access to sports medicine specialists, physical therapists, and sports dietitians. Located in the Sport 1 Parkview Fieldhouse. No referrals needed, saving you time and money. Visit ParkviewSportsMedicine.com to learn more.
Joe Auburn down on the field getting ready for his halftime interview. Who will it be? 14-14 tie. Coming up at halftime, our Indiana-Michigan Power halftime show. Katrina Walburn from, here's a bad snap, but I believe the whistle's blew, and there was a penalty flag thrown right at the snap. In that case, maybe New Haven lucky if they're just going to draw a penalty instead of a fumble lost or a big loss back outside the 35. That will cost them penalty yardage. Start to say Katrina Walburn, who's the marketing manager at Jefferson Point, talking to us about the annual Fort Wayne Arts Festival at Jefferson Point that begins tomorrow and runs through the weekend, Saturday and Sunday. Second down and 12, still 40.1 seconds remaining. Motion from right to left. Jakar Williams gets by one, rolls to the right. He's got open field. Comes at the 25, 20, 15, 10. Down out of bounds inside the 10-yard line. It'll be first and goal, New Haven. Williams picking him up and laying him down. And has the Bulldogs knocking on the door now. It'll be first and goal at the 9. 32.4 seconds remaining. Bulldogs trying to punch it in and grab the lead back. They led 14-0. We're tied at 14 all. Williams again, same set, too wide. Low snap, gives to right. Right fights. Back pedals down close to the 5-yard line. Clock is running down to 25 seconds. They'll mark it just outside the 5. It'll be second down and goal. And the clock continues to run. Let's see if they are going to put more time on the clock. We'll have a stoppage here. Shows 18. We'll check that when we return. We have a timeout down below. 14-14 tie. This is IHSAA football on Fox Sports, 1250 the ticket. BJ, after the interview, run at least 3 minutes. Well, Jimmy Lynn will be happy. There's a little bit more time on the clock. 26.9 seconds now. It'll be second down and goal from the 6-yard line. Bulldogs trying to punch it in. Trying to break the 14 all time. Jakar Williams, the sophomore quarterback at 6'3". DeAndre Wright offset to the left side. And the look on the read option. Here's Wright again. Curls back to the left. Brings it inside the 5 down to the 3. Clock is stopped with 21 seconds and change. Another timeout by New Haven. So it'll be third down and goal with a ball at the 3 when we return. And this is IHSAA football on Fox Sports, 1250 the ticket. Getting those alphabet spots in. We love it, but we don't want to be here all night, right? With his team grouped around him down below. Now they head back to the field. Likewise, Pete Kemp's defense for the Barons trying to stop the Bulldogs here on third down and goal at the 3-yard line. Jakar Williams brings his team up the line of scrimmage now. He's got Fields Lewis up in the slot to the right side, and Lane Woodson split wide of him. Will they put it in the air? And will DeKalb now take a timeout? They want to see that New Haven offense, which really has not changed much tonight. So we have another stoppage down below, and we'll step out once again. Still this 14-14 tie to be decided. This is IHSAA football on Fox Sports, 1250 the ticket. chess match continues here. DeAndre Wright walks back out on the field. To his left is the 6'3" sophomore quarterback, Jakar Williams. Fields Lewis still slot right. Lane Woodson split wide of him to the right side. Here's the snap. Here's Williams, rolls right, looking, turns the corner, and wrapped up. Second effort, got to the 2, but did not score. It'll be 4th down, and now a decision for Jimmy Lynn. Will he try to get the field goal? Those are the footballs going to be spotted just inside the 3. It'll be 4th down and goal from the 2. Well, 2 weeks ago they gambled in overtime, went for 2 instead of a tying extra point. They're going to gamble here to try and take the lead. 15.2 seconds remaining, empty backfield now. And here is a sneak straight up the middle. Did they get in? They do not indicate. They're going to wait while they unpile. And DeKalb is held. And the final seconds, well, they stop it with 5.2 seconds, but Williams on a quarterback sneak could not get it in. So the 4th down bid fails. And we will go tied, barring something strange happening here on this DeKalb possession inside the 1, but it should be a 14-14 tie. Second 4th down stop we've had here tonight in this first half. I believe they're going to have to take a snap. And remember, there's no margin for error here. Ball will be received about 2 yards deep in the end zone. And here is the run. I don't know if they got, let's see if they do get across, and that will end this first half. So it will be a 14-14 tie.
Kelly Automotive Group is simple, transparent, reliable. Simple. Our customer specialists make buying a car easy and fun. Transparent. Our price listed is the best price. No hassle, no gimmicks. Reliable. Buy with confidence and peace of mind. We work hard to ensure the best value however you shop. Come see us in Decatur at the 2733 Auto Mall and shop 7 brands in one location. The Kelly Automotive Group. Simple, transparent, reliable.
Keep your skills on point and take advantage of the Always 100 basketball camps. The Holiday Hoops Developmental Camp is for ages pre-K through 8th grade. You'll work on shooting, dribbling, passing, and defense December 24th through January the 2nd on Tuesday and Thursdays. And the Always 100 Pro Camp 2020 takes you to the next level. It's the real college experience for grades 1 through 12. It's June 8th through June 11th at Trine University.
Zacharias ready to kick the ball away, approaches with a left foot. No, it's a punch ball and goes high. That's a fumbled ball. And DeKalb has got it at the New Haven 31-yard line. I believe they do. And a mistake, a big mistake once again by New Haven as they could not corral that bounding ball.
And you got to be alive. You got to be ready for that, Joe. And that's a great call by DeKalb to be gutsy. But if you're one of those up-backs, and I played that position a lot in college, you got to be ready for that football. You just have to cover it. So that's just like a turnover. And that's a big momentum play for DeKalb. Now DeKalb can come out with the short field and with their power rushing attack and run downhill.
So 1st and 10, DeKalb at the New Haven 32 on the kickoff recovery. Ashback with a great opportunity now. Looks to hand it off. There's Landon Miller. Is wrapped up, though, and will not gain a yard.
It's good to see Josh Grigsby's back out there, Joe. He left in the first half, number 50 for New Haven. And we wondered because New Haven needs him back, and he makes the tackle that time. So it's good to see him back out there.
2nd down and 10. Ashback, his team huddle up as he gazes toward the sidelines and Pete Kempf. 2nd down and 10. Play clock is down to 14. And they're going to send a wide out to the left side. That's the short side of the field. Ashback with 5 on the play clock now takes the snap, waiting for it, I should say. Looks read option, wants to throw, double pumps, has got a catch. Short of the first down, that's at the 26.
Number 21, Rhodes.
And that's Rhodes out there, Joe, and he's so explosive. Rhodes goes 5'8", 150, but that time he shows you the preciseness of his route running. And how about Estep just to kind of step back, Eschbach, and just put that ball on Rhodes, and that's a good second down play for DeKalb.
Kind of fortunate, though, he stared down that receiver and looked at him all the way, kind of double pumped as well. But it'll bring up third down and 5. This time the wide side to the right, too wide out there. Eschbach with a running back, Landon Miller. No, it's going to be Miller turns the corner, and he's got the first down easily. Cuts it inside the New Haven 20 down to about the 16.
And that's, again, good push up front. The left tackle, Tyson Conley, that time turns the New Haven defensive end inside, and Miller reads that hole.
That's been a problem. New Haven trying to get containment to the defensive ends, to the outside.
And it's tough because Conley goes 6'3", 265, and he's so strong on that edge for DeKalb.
First and 10 now at the 17 for DeKalb at the New Haven 17-yard line. Eschbach again on the read option, looks, hands it off. Here's a sweep to the right side, and Miller again cuts down inside the 5 to the 4-yard line.
And that's the challenge for New Haven, and we talk about so often, whether it's professional, college, or high school, good coaches make those adjustments at halftime. DeKalb now is bouncing that off-tackle game a little bit to the outside, but New Haven needs to make that adjustment and get more men at the point of attack.
So the Barons once down 14-0 here. They'll have it first and goal at the 4-yard line. This time Miller offset to the left side next to Evan Eschbach. Got a wing back off the left side as well, but the run is off to the right. And up the middle, and that'll be a touchdown run. Into the end zone, Miller from 4 yards out at the 9:55 mark. So the kickoff recovery pays dividends for DeKalb, and they're up 20-14.
And that's a good drive. That's a little bit of passing out, DeKalb, but it's right back with that power rushing game. And I love that move by Landon Miller. He plants the outside leg, Joe, makes one guy miss, and gets into the end zone. So good intensity on that drive for DeKalb, and that's the way you come out of the locker room and punch New Haven in the mouth.
Zacharias trying it. They were a man short. Still 15 on the play clock, so they reset. Zacharias trying to give them a lead of 7. Here's the kick on the way, tailing off to the left, but it curled inside the left upright. So the kick is good. 21-14 Barons here for the first time tonight on top. In the third quarter, we'll step out. This is IHSAA football on Fox Sports 1250 The Ticket. With Joe Auburn, Tommy Norris, I'm Joe Parson back at John Young Stadium, and New Haven once led 14-0, but DeKalb now, Joe, with 21 unanswered points.
And they're well coached, and I felt like DeKalb never panicked, and just stuck to their game plan of running the football. Sometimes in games, you see a team get behind and they'll abandon the run. Not DeKalb tonight. They've been patient. Now let's see if New Haven can get their offense going.
Zacharias ready to kick it away. Line drive, bounding ball, that's fielded high in the air, another bobble. But New Haven this time does have it at the 26, but they give ground, and that's going to cost them all the way back around their 21-yard line.
And that is well coached by DeKalb. Obviously, DeKalb wants to keep the ball away from the speedy New Haven returners, but how well has that been done, Joe? That's great special teams with DeKalb. After the bust on the punt return in the first half, DeKalb has cleaned up their special teams in the second half.
So New Haven does have their first possession now the second half, but it'll be 1st and 10 at the Bulldog 21-yard line. See how Jakar Williams responds. His team now down 7. Sets up out of the shotgun formation. Looking on the read option, hands it off, right straight ahead. Crashes across the 21, got maybe a couple of yards out. I don't think he made it to the 23. Short gain.
Like DeAndre Wright that time run the football, but I think New Haven's going to have to get on the edge and attack DeKalb on the edge, Joe.
Wright picks up a yard, 2nd down and 9. Boy, another penalty flag thrown by E.J. Carroll, our referee tonight.
Tell you, those penalties are just devastating with New Haven. And being this deep in your territory, you don't want to have these mistakes, especially with the young quarterback.
Legal shift is the signal by the referee. So 2nd and 9 now comes 2nd and 14.
That's just a mental mistake. That's when you call a play and a wide receiver lines up in the wrong alignment. So that situation, New Haven needs to get everybody reshifted, but didn't happen that time. So this is danger time now for New Haven. You know, DeKalb's taking control of this game. This is an extremely important drive.
Williams ready now to take the snap. Clock inside 9.5 minutes. Low snap, but he's got it. Throws the ball in the out pattern. Here's a catch made, but good defense by DeKalb right on the play as that ball right into the hands of Jamar Hutchins, but he was not able to speed away much for. He'll pick up some of that yardage loss, but it'll bring him still 3rd down and about, 6 or 7.
You called it, Joe. That's a great play by number 23, Nate Williams for DeKalb. Only a sophomore, Joe, 6'3", 175. And Coach Kemp is really excited about his ability, and you see it there with the big tackle.
Bulldogs can pick up a 1st down if they reach at least their 31 on this snap. Williams out of the gun again, short drop, looks right, screens the ball, and reversing back to the left side, that's Hutchins, but tripped up and angles out of bounds. He stepped out of bounds, Joe, back at the 26. He thought he was going out at the 31. That's a difference of 5 yards, and instead of the 1st down, it'll bring up 4th down and about 4 or 5.
And number 90, Devin Smith for DeKalb. You can see his ability to chase, Joe. That's a big-time play to run him down.
How about this young man? He's a 6'1 junior. He's got 23 tackles already for the year. He had 16 last week against Garrett.
Yeah, he's awesome. I mean, he's a tremendous athlete. And when he gets in the weight room and gets some size, he's going to be fun to watch.
Chandler to punt. No fake here. Gets it away. Low line drive. Bounds inside the 40. That's picked up. A return across the 35 to the 40. Spinning off a tackle to the 45-yard line. So that return by Easton Rhodes. And again, very good field position for the Barons. They lead it by 7, 21-14.
Great hands by Easton Rhodes. Again, I cannot tell you enough how important it is for Easton Rhodes to come up and catch that punt, Joe. And that ability to catch that punt is really important.
Here come the Barons up the line of scrimmage now. They'll have it at their own 47-yard line. 1st and 10. Too wide to the right, but the weapon du jour for the Barons has been the run game, especially by Landon Miller. And they'll look, and here's a hole up the middle, so they'll bring it to midfield.
Yeah,
that was Tanner Jack actually in there.
And don't you like, Joe, how they use those backs? You feel like you get a real dose of Landon Miller with the cutting ability, then they come back and they slam you with Tanner Jack, and they have a nice feel for the way they keep their backs fresh.
Jack gains 3, 2nd and 7. Too wide to the right. Easton Rhodes becomes the slot receiver. And Evan Ashback now resets a blocker off to the right wing. And whistles blow again. Going to be another penalty. Was New Haven offsides?
Yeah, looked like it, Joe. And right now, New Haven, if I'm Coach Lynn, I burn a timeout right now. I get my guys together and I say, look, we're in this game 21-14. We have to keep our discipline and we have to keep our composure. This is a huge drive. It feels like if DeKalb goes down and gets a touchdown here, Joe, I'm concerned what New Haven has left in the tank.
You wonder, is it the Ashback with the hard count?
Oh, yeah. Senior, the hard count. And I tell you, you'd be surprised how often that works with that hard count.
2nd and short. Barons need a couple. Ashback out of the gun now, shotgun formation. But he'll look to hand it off, and there's Jack up the middle of the second level, and he's tripped up, and that was a touchdown-saving tackle by New Haven. as Jack was tripped up inside the 30-yard line, and he was off to the races.
It looked like he was going to motor to the end zone. I think it was Lamar Hutchins that got him that time, Joe. But how about the off tackle? And it just feels like that DeKalb offensive line is lathered up. They're getting off the ball, and DeKalb's running downhill on New Haven now.
1st and 10 at the Bulldog 31 for the Barons, on the move again with 6:36 remaining here in the third quarter. Here's Tanner Jack looking to follow blockers off the left side. Got to the 30, that turned around, wrapped up by New Haven. They limit to a gain of about a yard.
Yeah, good job that time by Deshaun Morgan from his defensive tackle position. 6'2", 230, and an interesting prospect out there, Joe. Lots of athletic ability, and they project him on the next level, maybe to be a linebacker, and he has the feet to play that position.
Rhodes again splits wide to the left. Inside on the slot will be Tanner Huff. It'll be 2nd down and 9. Here's the drop by Eschbach. Throws the fade. He's got a wide open receiver and missed him. Boy, I tell you what, Easton Rhodes, he settled down, turned around, but the ball sailed over his head, incomplete.
That's when we talk about the film study tomorrow morning. If you're Eschbach, that's when you excuse yourself to the bathroom because you're going to hate that. I think he was almost surprised how open Rhodes was, and that's one of those plays, Joe, you don't have to throw a perfect spiral, just kind of muscle it out there to him.
Well, you kind of wonder. It looked like Rhodes was running a post corner.
He had him,
or
yeah.
I should say that Eschbach thought he was running a post corner. He wasn't. He was just running a little square in.
Yeah, he was. He kind of bent it in, and he was wide open that time.
3rd and 9 now. Big call for the Bulldogs defensively. Here's a sweep coming up to the right side. Running room again to the 20, down to the 19. Lowering his shoulder, gaining extra yardage. Running back once again was and coming up limping a little bit was Landon Miller.
Yeah, and that time the center, Logan Dallas, 5'10", 225, Joe, the junior, got a great block, and I can't say enough about the offensive line. And how about Coach Kemp? The confidence to run off tackle on 3rd and long with your offensive line.
They'll bring Tanner Jack back in as the running back, the one back. Rhodes up on the wing to the right side now. And Jack straight ahead plunge into the second level, and finally brought down New Haven at their 10-yard line.
Got another big push up front. If I'm New Haven at this point, I gamble, Joe. I roll my safeties up. I get into a 5-2, and I say, okay, beat me with the pass. But you know what? I'm going to stop the bleeding here with the rushing attack.
Gain of 9, 2nd and short, 2nd and 1. Ball's right at the 10-yard line. Eschbach checks that New Haven defense. Tanner Jack lined up behind him. Looks to him again this time. Well, it's a keeper play that time, and New Haven sniffed that one out. They stayed with Eschbach and drop him outside the 10.
Yeah, that's Isaac Carswell, number 20 for New Haven. The inside linebacker, Joe, 5'11", 180, a sophomore. A heck of a football player, and that time Carswell stops that play. So let's see, this will be interesting. 3rd and 2. I bet they go off tackle. What do you think, Mr. Parsons?
It was 2, 2nd down and 1. Now it's 3rd down and 2. There is Easton Rose wide to the left side.
I sell out here if I'm New Haven against the run.
Eschbach, let's see what he comes up with now. Looking on the read option straight ahead. There's Tanner Jack to the 5. And still fighting for yardage. But they'll mark him down right at the 5-yard line and bring up 1st and goal.
And just total domination up front right now. Again, that's Logan Dallas, the center, that just makes the key block that time. And, we thought Snyder, we were really impressed with their offensive line. They're going to have an awesome offensive line. Carroll was impressive last week with their offensive line. DeKalb's not quite as big as Snyder, but just as impressive with the offensive line, Joe.
Yeah, pound for pound in this class, they match up with most anybody. 1st and goal at the 5-yard line. Eschbach looks again to Jack, cuts to his right, back pedals, but knocked down, and he hit. Ball popped free, but I believe they're going to rule it down on contact right at the inside the 2-yard line.
Yeah, good call, Joe. He was down. Good push again. Looked like Jack got his knee twisted, and I think he's going to have to come out of the game. We'll see if he comes back. He was twisted up pretty good. I think Miller's going to come in the game now and probably get Miller off tackle. If I'm New Haven, I'm selling out on this play. But just this second half, it seemed like DeKalb had so much momentum going into halftime, and they have just pounded New Haven with the rushing attack.
Well, speaking of pounding, both running backs for the Barons have been a little nicked up this series. But Landon Miller's back in there, gets the call, looks, and he will walk into the end zone. A huge hole between left guard and center. 2 yards on the touchdown run by Landon Miller once again. And it's an advantage, DeKalb 27-14 at the 3:06 mark.
Landon Miller gets the touchdown, but that's the Logan Dallas drive, the center at that time. Another great block. That was just total domination up front. And you can see now DeKalb is really wearing out that New Haven defensive line.
Zacharias on to attempt the extra point, trying to give him a fire. There's a fire play as the ball is knocked down. Never really got beyond the holder. So it'll keep it 27-14. Bulldogs still within 13. When we return here to John Young Stadium, this is IHSAA football on Fox Sports 1250 The Ticket. Good.
Yeah, right down here. Let's go right.
Get out your 50-50 tickets. The winning ticket number is 353216. Winning ticket 353216.
Bulldogs about to get the football once again. Welcome back, everybody, with Joe Auburn. And what do you got, Joe?
Tommy's giving me a hard time. He asked if Southside caught Dwenger. No, it was 41-0 Dwenger. But how about this, Tommy? Carroll 41, Northside nothing. So how's that feel, brother? I tell you what, though, interesting score, though. Snyder's now kind of extended it a little bit on Concordia. 31-14, Snyder over Concordia. Still 19-14, Northrop and Wayne. So a dogfight at Fuller Stadium between those two teams.
Bulldogs, let's see how they answer now. They
got to
trail by
answer,
13
Joe.
Points.
Excuse me, they got to answer here, Joe, or they're dead in the water. They need to get some momentum.
But they've got to handle this kickoff twice. It's been a problem now, and it's cost them the lead. Zacharias ready to approach at the 40. Again, punches the ball, bounding ball, takes a bounce, caught at the 30. There's a run to the left side. Again, not much there, but still looking for some running room. Carry across the 35 out to about the 37-yard line. So the Bulldogs, a little dipsy-do play is Quantry Sanders, a 5'8 sophomore.
After a play like that, you run to the sideline of the coach and you say, "You see that, coach? Get me some carries." But how about Sanders in the feet? So, nice return now. Maybe a chance for New Haven to get going. Right now, I don't like their body language. I'm trying to get guys pumped up. Let's go. Maybe you run a little bit of a hurry-up offense with New Haven, but try to get things going and establish a good drive here. You still got a chance. A lot of football left in this game, but this is a big drive here, Joe.
A big series coming up for the Bulldogs in decent field position at their own 37. First and 10. Play clock at 16. Williams sets up out of the shotgun once again. Too wide to his right. Wants to run the ball. An off-tackle run to the left side. That'll be out to the 40, close to the 41-yard line. And you'd expect that would be DeAndre Wright, and it was.
Yeah, it's DeAndre Wright running hard. Not allowed block that time, but Wright carries tacklers for a few yards. And again, your favorite player for DeKalb, Devin Smith, makes another tackle.
Second down. Let's call it 7. And there was movement at the line of scrimmage, but defensively they didn't come across. Now Williams again changing the play call, moves up to the line of scrimmage and back to the shotgun formation. Looks, screens the ball right side, really telegraphed that pass, but they got away with it. And here is Landon, or check it. It's a run after the catch that time by Tim Stanford, I believe.
Yeah, I tell you, that time it was New Haven got that ball out. I thought Logan Miller was going to make the tackle. Looked like maybe that was Lewis or Hutchins again, Joe, for New Haven. They're so quick. Yeah, it was Lewis. It was Lewis that time, but Miller slowed him down just enough before that became a big play. But New Haven needs to run that, Joe. That's their advantage, is on the edge.
Gain is out to the 48-yard line, and DeKalb keeps coming up and threatening at the line of scrimmage just before the snap.
It's going to be a false start this time on New Haven.
Yeah, New Haven is buying into it. And I thought there was a rule that you couldn't do it. Maybe that's at the different level now.
Yeah, and that's a good point, because it looked like the defensive player, kind of jumped, and the New Haven offensive guard that time stood up, but you just got to hold your water. You got to be disciplined, because every time you lose on those chains, it puts more pressure on your offense.
Penalty moves the Bulldogs back to their own 43-yard line. Brings up still first down, but 1st and 15. Williams out of the gun. Willie screen to the left. He throws over the middle. He's got a wide open sliding catch by Fields Lewis at the DeKalb 42-yard line. That is close to a first down.
Fields Lewis is a heck of a football player. 6'1", 160. I tell you, if you had some more size on him, Joe, he's an interesting prospect on the next level. And that time, Williams, you just kind of get that ball up because Lewis is so explosive. You'll want to hit him in stride, give him a chance to run after the catch.
Play nets 14. It'll be 2nd down and 1. Here's DeAndre Wright, starts right and just muscles his way for the first down. Or did he get there?
I think he's going to be short. I tell you, DeKalb is so stout up front. I know you got to keep him honest with the run, but I think I would just continue to attack on the outside.
Looks like he will be just short of the first down stick at just outside the 42, so they need less than a yard.
To sneak it with the big quarterback.
Williams going to back up, this time out of the pistol alignment. Takes the snap, looks to the outer. No, he screens the ball near side. Lewis fell down. Fields Lewis had the ball, falls down at the 42, does not get the first down. And it'll bring up 4th down, and New Haven just continues to make it hard on themselves.
Reminds me of the Bears last night. The Bears had a chance on, 3rd and half a yard, and they ran a play like that. Get a 6'3", 215-pound quarterback. Just sneak it. He'll be able to get that.
4th and 1. Bulldogs failed right before halftime. That would have given them the halftime lead. Now they need a yard to keep the drive alive. And DeAndre Wright spinning, looking, fighting. Will he get there? The second effort may have done it. Depends when they blew the whistle. He did spin inside the 40-yard line.
Great effort by Wright because he was hit at the point of attack, Joe, but that just shows you 6'1", 220 fighting for that first down. Some momentum for New Haven. So as we come here towards the end of the 3rd quarter, New Haven gets a big first down here. Now I attack downfield with Williams' arm if I'm New Haven.
It'll be spotted at the Barron 38-yard line on that fine, tough run by DeAndre Wright. Here as Williams loads up, throws left side, Fields Lewis down there. Could not find the handle. Just outstretched over his hands. That would have been good for 6.
Yeah, just needed one more stride to catch that. It was a good throw out there. And typically Lewis has so much speed, he runs underneath it. I love the play call, but just so close.
And Jakar Williams showed he's got an arm.
He does, and he just flipped that ball out there. And I tell you, I come back to that later in the game, but I like how New Haven's attacking with a purpose now.
2nd down and 10. Still 7.2 seconds remaining in the quarter. Williams looks and going to be hit and will go down. Back around midfield is coming in there. Who else but Devin Smith?
What a heck of a play by Devin Smith. And that's a huge sack.
Feel that'll end the 3rd quarter. 27-14.
The Acme Bar and Grill, where neighbors meet. A Fort Wayne tradition since 1941. We feature nightly dinner specials along with our iconic pizza, wings, and pork tenderloins, and barbecue in our family-friendly atmosphere with a retro flair. Additionally, we offer a full bar with 26 beers on tap from various Midwest breweries. We also have an area perfect for private events such as meetings, reunions, and banquets that holds up to 50 people. The Acme Bar and Grill, located in the heart of East State Village, where neighbors...
For every victory, for every highlight, for every team in the Summit Athletic Conference, we've got you covered. Like, follow, and subscribe for all the latest.
To get all the way down to the DeKalb 28-yard line on this snap, it's at the 49. Here's Williams, one to throw, can't find anything, flush to his right, running, and he's going to be brought down again. Back around the 47-yard line of New Haven.
He's got to get rid of that football. That's Devin Smith again. At that time, Williams has got to get rid of that football, and his receivers, Joe, have to come back and give him an option. So that's something that, as Williams plays more football, he'll understand. Sometimes you just have to check that ball down.
Bulldogs on the road next Friday night. They travel to Leo as far as the Barons. They are home to East Noble next Friday night. That's an intriguing matchup.
Yeah, it could be a big matchup. And could be a couple of undefeated teams in those matchups.
Meanwhile, we'll be at Wayne Stadium as the Generals will host Northside. Our Friday Night Lights feature with a kickoff at 7 o'clock. Howard Chandler in the punt, but again, the officials wave the hands. And what do we have here? Timeout called by New Haven.
Yeah, missing a guy on the punt team, and that's frustrating because you got to know what teams you're on.
Let's step out. Still 27-14 DeKalb. IHSAA football on Fox Sports, 12:50 The Ticket. Chandler waiting for the snap back at the Bulldog 34. He's got it, now runs to his right side. He's in trouble. Nothing there, reverses back to the left and squirts through for a moment, but only out to the 42. So that will be DeKalb's football. They'll have it at the New Haven 42-yard line.
It's a penalty flag down, and we'll see if you're New Haven. You're praying it's a face mask. Other than that, DeKalb totally was on that. Devin Smith again shuts that play down, and DeKalb shows an awful lot of discipline to blow it up. I think it could be a face mask.
It is against DeKalb, and the Bulldogs going to, but they're only walking off yardage to the 48.
Yeah, I think it's an incidental face mask, just a 5-yard penalty. I thought that would be a personal foul, because that was quite a severe face mask. So that makes it 4th down again. So what do you do here, Joe?
I believe he's got it. It's going to still be 4th down and 24. So, but we'll see what Jimmy Lynn gambled early in the ball game and paid dividends. So Chandler in the punt, this time waiting from the 33. This time he will kick it away, got it away. Low line drive again, bounce inside the 20. That DeKalb lets it bounce inside the 15. Still rolling inside the 10, and it might have been kicked a little bit. Let's see where they're going to mark that. It's all the way down to about the 6-yard line, Joe. Yeah, and that's where they're going to mark it.
Good break, good special teams from New Haven. But if I'm DeKalb, I just come out, I just run off tackle. I'm up 2 touchdowns, 10 minutes left in the game. My team is built to salt games like this away because my offensive line is so good.
Yeah, really the keys in this game, DeKalb's ability to run between the tackles tonight.
And patience, and so much patience. You're right, Joe. Run between the tackles, but to get down 14-0 and not to give up on your run game.
So the Barons, 1st and 10 from their own 6. New Haven desperately needs a takeaway if they can get it. Eschbach looking and does hand the ball off. A sweep coming, and they turn the corner. Gain out across the 10. And that's Tanner Jack on the carry all the way to the 14.
Yeah, Jack does a nice job letting his block set up. And we haven't talked a lot about DeKalb throwing the ball with Rhodes, but how about how good the DeKalb tight end and receivers are out there blocking, Joe? We haven't talked about everybody, but I tell you, they got a heck of a fullback out there. And the receivers and Curtis Martin, that fullback, the tight end, Evan Snyder, really done a good job blocking, Joe.
You know, I'm glad you mentioned that. They've been kind of the unsung heroes. You talked about the offensive line, and obviously they're huge. Now it's 2nd down and 1 after a gain of 9. Eschbach looking to hand it off again, and the ball is loose. Bulldogs think they've got it.
It's the penetration that time for New Haven. Looked like Chandler Zimmerman at the penetration. Oh, that's a huge turnover. And if you're DeKalb, that's disaster for you.
Yeah, the one thing you wanted to avoid, just keep control of the ball, pick up 1st downs. Instead, it'll be Bulldog ball, 1st and 10 at the 17 of DeKalb.
That's a devastating turnover for DeKalb, and now New Haven, new life. And I attack to the outside with those quick passes. And if New Haven can get a touchdown here, Joe, we got ourselves a ball game.
Yeah, anything can happen then, but you've got to punch it in. They were unable to in the 2nd quarter when they had it down deep. Trying to stick with the run game. Now the spread offense once again employed by the Bulldogs. And they'll back away. We're going to have a timeout called. Didn't see who. Is it DeKalb?
Yep.
So 9:54 remains here in the fourth quarter. 27-14 Barons. We'll be back. IHSAA football on Fox Sports 1250 The Ticket.
I'd like to congratulate the winner of the 50-50 drawing. Unfortunately, I don't have a name, but I do know they donated their half back to the band.
Tonight's game being brought to you in part by Acme Bar and Grill, located 1105 East State Boulevard, Kurt's Meal Power Wash, and by Indiana Wesleyan University. Here's a sweep coming up the left side, but Hutchins nowhere to run on that lateral pursuit by DeKalb to the defensive right.
Yeah, Landon Miller, what a heck of a play in the linebacking position to make that tackle. So New Haven tries to attack outside, but you see the discipline of the DeKalb defense to string that play out and make the play, and a quick scorer pass along. Wayne just got a touchdown to go ahead 25-22 over Northrop, where Northrop's driving back and close to getting an answer. So a great game. We had them last year, and it was a great matchup.
Loss of 3. There was movement at the defensive line of scrimmage. This should, I would think, go against DeKalb, but we'll see.
And that's Jakar Williams changing up that snap count. So that's a good play. You're deep in their territory. DeKalb's trying so hard to get off the ball, so that time Jakar gets the 5 yards back, and that's a heads-up play at the quarterback position.
Now it'll be 2nd down and 9 with the ball at the, just outside the 15-yard line. Again, they work from the left side hash mark. Williams out of the gun. He's got 3 wide to the right side. Rolls that way, looking, throws to the corner. He's got a man out there, but falling down, it was going to be no good anyway. That ball just sailed beyond the end line, incomplete. Intended for Lane Woodson, incomplete.
Yeah, Woodson was open. He could have thrown a softer ball, but I think he also could have run the ball in the end zone too. So I like the play design. If I'm New Haven, that would be tempting to come back to that play again, Joe, because that was wide open, the run-pass option. Sometimes those guys are so far open that it throws you a little bit, and you just got to throw a lollipop out there.
And now with 8:58 remaining, obviously New Haven in 4-down yardage area. They need a score on this series. Williams again, short drop, pump fake, being pursued, trapped and dropped.
Wow. What a play by DeKalb. I thought Williams had
Jace Griffith.
Oh, that's a heck of a play by Jace Griffith. The senior, 5'11", 200 pounds from the defensive end position, Joe, and that's a huge play for DeKalb. And I thought Williams had time, but Griffith just broke through there. Again, bookmark that play, Joe. That was huge.
It is 4th and 17. Now New Haven can pick up a 1st down inside somewhere around the 7, but they need a big play right here. Or here comes the rush again. Williams gets the loose, throws to the right, looks, and again the ball is out of bounds, incomplete. It'll be a 4th down stop, and DeKalb escapes the fumble, and they will take over the football at their own 17.
Yeah, DeKalb's defense bails the offense out that time. Again, Devin Smith is all over Williams, and Williams never could get his feet set to deliver a catchable ball. So that's a huge stop, Joe. Now if I'm DeKalb, I say both hands on the football, and I hammer away. And we'll see if New Haven has any more answers, but that was a big stop that time for DeKalb.
So 1st and 10. By the way, the ball is at the 24-yard line. That's where the Barons take over possession. And Evan Ashbaugh looking, gives it off, a big hole up the middle. Nobody laid a glove. That Landon Miller again, and it looks like it is.
Yeah, another big run with Landon Miller, and again the center out there for DeKalb. Logan Dallas just opens up that hole, and New Haven's getting tired. DeKalb just run that football on them. And DeKalb is such a difficult team, Joe, to catch up when you're behind because they're so physical and they just almost take the air out of the ball.
You know, a couple of keys. Early on, we saw some great pass defense by the New Haven secondary, but now they're not able to come up and run support, and really the running backs, Tanner Jack and now Landon Miller, just running with abandon. 1st and 10, and they'll run the ball again. Here's a cut to the left side, big hole once again, and Miller all the way across the 45, angles to his left, and gets the first down up to about the 49.
They're just attacking them. I think part of the adjustment New Haven needs to make is their safeties are too far back, Joe. You got to roll your safeties up to the line of scrimmage. You're playing a 3-4. You got to get 5 guys in the line of scrimmage, and those safeties, instead of being 12 to 13 yards off the ball, get involved in the run game, especially at this point in the game, because I promise you, DeKalb's not going to throw it.
You almost need 8 in a box in a situation like this.
Especially with an offensive line that awesome.
Clock inside 7.5 minutes, time remaining. Now they do come up with pressure to the outside. Here's Eschbach. Once they didn't fake it and hands it off, and New Haven stopped it because they brought up that run support on the defensive right side, and that's exactly where DeKalb tried to run toward.
Yeah, and that's your adjustment, and that's what New Haven should have been doing coming out halftime. You got to get more guys at the point of attack, especially when you're against an offensive line that's this good.
There is a gain of 1. Isaac Carswell had a hand on the stop, so it'll be 2nd and 9. Clock still plenty of time. 6:44 remains here in the ball game. 13-point advantage for the Barons, trying to go to 3-0. Eschbach. Long count now, looks to Miller. Miller feeling his way, can't escape though. And will lose the yards back to the line of scrimmage right around the 49.
That's Chandler Zimmerman again, Joe. He's a senior, 5'10", 175. He's having a heck of a game at the linebacker position. So now you see when New Haven crowds the line of scrimmage, DeKalb's not able to get those blocks and to trap anybody.
Barons trying to take as much clock as they can. It'll move inside of 6 minutes before the snap of the ball. DeKalb trying to reach the New Haven 41 on this snap. Again, 10 men up within about 5 yards of the line of scrimmage for the Bulldogs. And here is a run to the left, and Landon Miller knocked down and got into New Haven territory to the 49, but not much. He'll pick up maybe a couple, 2-3 yards. That's it to bring up 4th down.
And that's Grigsby coming down, making the tackle that time to stop that drive. So if you're DeKalb, you're okay. You ran some time off that. You got the ball in midfield. Now I would punt the ball. I would not punt it, obviously, to Lewis. If I'm DeKalb, I just kick this ball out of bounds. I don't care if I only get 10 or 20 yards. Don't kick the ball to Lewis.
Well, they're going to handle it. You're right, because Hutchins is back deep this time.
Well, I'm sorry. Well, I guess if it's Hutchins this time, don't kick the ball to Hutchins, right?
So Evan Snyder in the punt. High snap, got it in, got it away. End over end, angles near side. It will hit and take a bounce inside the 1. And, Landon Miller went into the end zone. They're going to mark it down at the 1 yard line, though, and New Haven just cannot buy a break tonight, can they?
That'll work if you're DeKalb, right? Yeah, they just can't buy a break. And now it's difficult for Williams because you're pinned so far back. But this is where you got to get rid of that football quick, Joe.
Well, you got a 99-yard drive in the making.
I tell you, I go back to that deep pass. I throw a couple of deep balls here, but how about DeKalb? You know, we don't get a chance to see DeKalb a whole lot. DeKalb is very well coached with Coach Kemp, and they made the effort to build the team up with the offseason, the weightlifting, and 6 years. This is year number 6 for Coach Kemp, and what a heck of a job he's doing.
Well, last year they were 5-5 for Coach Kemp, and that was a turnaround year. That was the first non-losing team that he's had. Back in 2014, the Barons started 2-0, then won only one more and finished 3-7. Right now, New Haven trying to find a way to get a little breathing room here. Just a straight-ahead carry, and DeKalb grudgingly does not give up much.
Yeah, it's just so hard. You want to get a little bit of room. I just get in the shotgun here and bombs away. You know, you've got the ability to tag downfield. You have a quarterback, Jakar Williams, that has a big arm. You know, the time's against you, I just throw the ball downfield, Joe.
Yeah, maybe a little quick play action and then hitting a little quick slant just to get you a little breathing room. Williams is going to take this ball a good 4 yards deep into the end zone. Rush is coming. Got to load up. He throws the strong ball up, and that ball is dropped in and out of the hands at about the 23-yard line.
Yeah, you had Lewis, and it was a good ball, Joe. Williams slide steps in the pocket, all the pressure, but he's so big, Lewis has to help him out and make that catch.
3rd down and still about 10, still at the 1-yard line. And, of course, the Barons bringing pressure that last snap. They drop 4 back into coverage. Williams screens the ball near sideline. There's Fields Lewis, but running out of real estate is that he was real near the sideline and out of bounds at about the 7. Well, he's got a little bit of a breathing room, but unfortunately to bring up 4th down. Or will it? Is that 3rd down?
That's
4th down.
4th down. Williams wants to hold that ball and throw it downfield, but New Haven hasn't been able to get Devin Smith blocked. So Devin Smith brings such an intense pass rush that Williams has to dump that ball off short.
Still 4:17 remaining. Howard Chandler will wait for the snap again out of the end zone. Needs a good delivery here. Easton Rhodes back in punt return, waits at the New Haven 44. High snap, kick is away, got it high, short kick. That's going to hit around the 25 and take a backwards bounce. Let's see where they're going to mark that.
Yeah, it looks like it's maybe on the 16-yard line of New Haven, Joe. And I tell you, Chandler was just lucky to get that off without getting it blocked. So now a chance for DeKalb here with their power rushing attack, maybe to add one more and put New Haven to sleep tonight, Joe.
Contributing sponsors making tonight's broadcast possible include Kelly Automotive Group, 1,000 new vehicles and 500 pre-owned, along with Tom Steel Tire, 2 locations in Fort Wayne, and Big Eyed Fish, the best fish in Fort Wayne. So the Barons at the New Haven 16-yard line. Let's see if they are hungry for more, leading it by 13. 1st and 10 at the 16-yard line. Not marked the ball ready for play yet. Now they do. Tanner Jack back in there as the running back. Tight formation off to the right. Hash mark now. Ashback looks to Jack. Jack quick burst up the middle inside the 10. Gets down to the 9.
Still running hard. And I think the 2 backs are so effective together, Joe. And I think Coach Kemp really has a feel how to alternate those backs. Gotta be fun too, running behind a line that big. And I tell you, if I'm Jack or Miller, I'm back in the huddle and I'm touching those big guys' helmets, or I'm taking care of my big guys, because they are absolutely paving the way tonight.
Gain of 7, 2nd down and 3. This time the Whiteouts 1 right, 1 left. But Eschbach, will he keep it on the ground? And does that. Here's Jack, works to his right, curls up down to the about the 6-yard line before he's brought down.
I love Deshaun Morgan for New Haven. The senior, 6'2", 230. He's still playing hard in on that play. And also DeAndre Wright making tackles. So New Haven still fighting, but a chance here on 3rd and about 1, Joe, for maybe DeKalb to dial up an outside run or maybe even pound it again to the inside. This is Tommy Norris kind of football, Joe. He loves it. Everything between the tackles and physical football.
Barons up to the line of scrimmage now. Same set as last play. Running back offset to the left side for Evan Ashbaugh. Low snap, picks it up, hands to Tanner. He only needed a yard, but I don't know if he got there.
Yeah, that's a great play again by Chandler Zimmerman, filling that hole and making that stop. He's had a heck of a game tonight from the inside linebacker position. So he's short, Joe. It's going to be 4th and 1.
In fact, they move that ball back closer to the 7. So it'll be 4th down and more than a yard. Clock, meanwhile, still running down to 2:15. DeKalb, of course, no hurry. They're in the driver's seat, leading it by 13 points. Still 3 on the play clock, and they may be willing to take the penalty. Or did they call a timeout? They will take a timeout right here with 2:02 remaining in this ball game. It'll be 4th down and a little more than a yard for DeKalb at the New Haven 7. When we return, 27-14 Barons. And this is IHSAA football on Fox Sports, 1250 The Ticket. Well, we have an update on that Northrop-Wayne game. The Generals were on top and out Northrop by 4, 29-25. That score in the fourth quarter. Here it's 27-14 Barons. They'll have fourth down and a yard at the Bulldogs 7-yard line. Eschbach ready to take the snap once again. Running back lined up behind him. There was movement, and that will cost New Haven. Plus, there was movement the other way, but officials do want to confer on this. E.J. Carroll, our referee, will let us know if it's encroachment or procedure. Now 4 officials congregate with Carroll, and they do call it defensive encroachment. It'll still be fourth down, but less than a yard now. No, that will be a walk-off half the distance. That'll take the ball inside the 5 down to the 3, so it will be first and goal from the 3-yard line for DeKalb. Tough way for the Bulldogs, who had played well so far defensively on this series, but mistake again hurts them. Tanner Huff in the game, wide to the right. Well, you would expect DeKalb a little motion now from left to right. Will they run that way? Eschbach, long count from the line of scrimmage. Tanner Jack started right, cuts back to the middle of the field, got to the 3, maybe another yard to the 2. Doesn't look like it, though. Maybe just yardage inside the 3. That will do it with 1:47 remaining. Joe Walburn making his way down to field level. He'll be checking in with Pete Kemp once again, as his Barons have rallied down from a 14-0 deficit to lead and score 27 unanswered points, and maybe ready to add a few more here in the late going in the final 90 seconds. It'll be second and goal from the 2-yard line. Eschbach again looks, hands it off, and New Haven is there to stop it at the 5. Did they come up with a football as well? They did. So New Haven's going to take over the football with 1:15 remaining. So it'll be a fumble recovery at the Bulldog 6-yard line. So they prevent it from any more damage from a DeKalb standpoint. And we'll see what Jakar Williams is got up his sleeve here in the final 1:15 to try to get maybe points on the board late for New Haven. Williams low snap, and that's through the end zone, and it will be a safety. And things just continue to unravel here for New Haven in this second half. So a bad snap right through the legs. Jakar Williams never had a chance. That'll be a safety at the 1:10 mark. And that'll make it 29-14 now. And New Haven will have an option here from their own 20-yard line, either the fair kick the ball. And we'll take a quick timeout as well. 29-14 Barons, getting the gift of 2 points on that safety. This is IHSAA football right here on Fox Sports 1250 The Ticket. Bulldogs with an option here from the 20-yard line, either to punt the ball or use a place kick. Hope you've enjoyed tonight's game here on SummitCitySports.com, located at Twitter at 260sports. Sponsors also include LS Tech, a Mexican restaurant, and Anderson Heating and Air Conditioning. Looks like it'll be a punt of the ball Or Chandler, I should say, can run up to it. Chandler can. And Leftwich that kick high, short, coming down about midfield. That's fielded right at the 50-yard line, and a run into New Haven territory down to about the 41. With 1:05 remaining, DeKalb gets the ball back, leading it now after the safety, 29-14. So the offense will trot back onto the field for the Barons. They're about to go to the 3-0, and New Haven, well, last time they went 0-3 to start the year, that was 2002. They lost the first 4 ball games, in fact. Did finish strong that season in 2002, finished at 5-6. And when you think after 0-4, that's not a bad finish. Now it'll be the victory formation, and that is going to do it here tonight. It will be a 29-14 win for DeKalb. They'll have to take one more snap, taking a knee, and they will get ready for Leo next, or I should say they'll get ready for East Noble. Barons will be home to the Knights, and meanwhile the Bulldogs will travel to Leo. Another tough matchup for Jimmy Lynn's team on the road next Friday night. Now the teams will, clock is stopped, by the way, at 46.2 seconds remaining. There was apparently a penalty against DeKalb. Takes the ball back outside the 45, but all academic now. Still going to take the knee on this 1st and 15 call coming up. Ishbak with the kneel down. Clock will run. They may still have to take one more snap of the football, and we'll be heading to our Walburn Financial Management post-game show. Joe will be down on the field and checking in with Pete Kemp. He's got to be enjoying this along with the Barons fans who've come out here to New Haven. And they will win this ball game by a final score of 29-14.
Sports Medicine's integrated sports medicine team is built to serve the needs of all athletes in all sports. Our team's only goal is to improve athletes in every facet. PSM offers performance training to help athletes get better on the field, dedicated athletic rehabilitation and physical therapy to help them get better off of it, certified athletic trainers in our PSM schools providing daily support to our athletes, and a specialized orthopedic walking clinic when injury strikes. Call 260-266-4007 to speak to our care navigators, or visit ParkviewSportsMedicine.com to learn more about what we can do to improve athletes at all levels.
The Acme Bar and Grill, where neighbors meet. A Fort Wayne tradition since 1941. We feature nightly dinner specials along with our iconic pizza, wings, and pork tenderloins, and barbecue in our family-friendly atmosphere with a retro flair. Additionally, we offer a full bar with 26 beers on tap from various Midwest breweries. We also have an area perfect for private events such as meetings, reunions, and banquets that holds up to 50 people. The Acme Bar and Grill, located in the heart of East State Village, where neighbors...
Give your home the curb appeal it deserves, and trust Kurt's Mio to power wash your home. Additional services include concrete sealing, deck and fence cleaning, driveway replacement, and stamped concrete. Just head on over to kurtzmio.com, request your virtual quote, and use the code SummitCity for 15% off all power washing services today. That's kurtzmio.com, supporting the youth of Fort Wayne.
The Kelly Automotive Group is simple, transparent, reliable. Simple. Our customer specialists make buying a car easy and fun. Transparent. Our price listed is the best price. No hassle, no gimmicks. Reliable. Buy with confidence and peace of mind. We work hard to ensure the best value however you shop. Come see us in Decatur at the 2733 Auto Mall and shop 7 brands in one location. The Kelly Automotive Group. Simple, transparent, reliable.
Joint pain, sprains, strains, or a possible broken bone? Make the Parkview Ortho Express walk-in clinic your first stop when you have an orthopedic or sports injury. Parkview Ortho Express, located at the Sport One Parkview Fieldhouse, gives you access to quick care and orthopedic physicians when you need it most. Get x-rays, treatment, and referrals to Parkview Care, all in the convenience of a walk-in clinic. Parkview Ortho Express is open Monday through Thursday, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., Friday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m., and Saturday, 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. Call 260-266-4007 for more information. Developing athletes to be foundationally strong. Healthy and consistent training. Expert staff. Long-term athletic development. Parkview Sports Medicine Performance. Any athlete, any age, any skill level.
I was once a Southside kid who was led on a journey by high school football. A journey that taught me discipline, toughness, and the skills that made me a success. As a businessman with a CPA license who owns his own firm, I still use the building blocks of high school sports in my everyday life. Someday sports will end no matter what level you reach, but you will be left with the skills to compete in the next game, the game of life.
I chose St. Francis because they made a promise that I would have real-world experience that I could take when I graduated, and they delivered on that promise. For me, the classroom only gets you so far, so they're setting you up with an internship. I had a mentor that they set me up with that was a CEO of a DuPont hospital in Fort Wayne. They offer degrees in accounting, business administration, risk management and insurance, marketing, and finance. You know, they just did a great job of the full circle of not only the education but also the experience.
Thank you for supporting Summit City Sports. For the last several years, we've provided the Fort Wayne community and beyond with coverage of a variety of sports, thanks to our title sponsorship from Parkview Sports Medicine. Since we began in 2015, our annual budget has covered the cost of videographers and commentators to over 300 plus games each year. New equipment and maintenance of that equipment, along with increased broadcast rights fees from the IHSAA. This season, we're reaching out to friends, families, and local businesses for additional sponsorships and donations. You can help us grow and get coverage to your favorite team or sport. A Summit City Sports sponsorship or donation will help make that happen. We have the goal of bringing fans live stream games of every SAC game we cover. With the additional funds, we'd invest in mobile internet devices, allowing us to bring our supporters every SAC conference football and boys and girls basketball games live, as well as more coverage for sports like cross country, tennis, golf, swimming, wrestling, track and field, baseball, and softball. For more information on sponsorships or how to donate, visit SummitCitySports.com.